welcome back to Stories to D4. As always, I'm your Dungeon Master, Matthew, and I'm excited to return to the Tournament of Blades. Last time we were here, we got to see one of our special one-shots over at the Battlesphere with the Brothers McGloin. But tonight, we're returning to see the Defiant Smiles, our heroes of Elts. And I have missed you guys so much. I want to kind of bring things out right here at the table, Alex, just because it's been a little while. It's been a few weeks since we've seen the Smiles, and we've got some of y'all here now. Welcome back.
Woo! Good to be here.
I'm glad to have you here. Now, you guys have made it through both the prelims and the first round of the Tournament of Blades. How are we feeling?
We are unstoppable. Nothing can bring us down, and we...
This is the attitude I like.
I'm a little scared because we did kill Elle momentarily.
Yeah, that's true.
And we had no way to bring her back.
Yes.
Because apparently we didn't have a diamond.
Briefly...
Mine went, what?
Yeah, we don't have that kind of stuff.
Briefly, we did experience half-elf death during the last session, but she got better.
She got better.
She did get better.
Speaking of getting better, we do want to wish Clella that they feel better soon. Hi from home, but they will be rejoining us very shortly in a subsequent session.
We are
Connor?
rotating the Battlesphere right now. The player cards are the Battlesphere ones.
Oh, they're the
Do you wanna
Battlesphere
just
ones?
Press on?
Yeah, we'll press on. I'll fix that in a minute when I got a sec. Not a problem. You might see the Battlesphere characters below. Don't worry. If you haven't seen the Battlesphere yet, here's a little hint at the Brothers McGloin. And if you have a last reminiscence of them, we just want to remember these wonderful dwarves.
They die.
Well, maybe you'll have to watch the Battlesphere to find out. Special thanks to Alex, Corbin, and Connor for playing that fantastic session. It was boys' night, boys' night, boys' night. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude energy for sure.
Now, Connor, we heard optimism and a little bit of worry here about the Tournament of Blades. How are you feeling with Thorn and the rest of the crew?
You know, we always come out on top, other than a couple times when we didn't, so I think we'll be okay.
Yeah,
It's good until it's not?
Yeah.
it's great until it's not.
That's some Thorn logic right there, I won't lie. I approve quite a bit.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to announcements, we don't have much. We'll be starting our session here shortly. The big thing I'd like to say is, hey, wherever you're seeing this, if you like the stories we're telling here, you like our faces, maybe some of the voices we do, if you want to go ahead and give us a follow over on YouTube or subscribe over on YouTube, it would mean a lot to us because we're having a lot of fun kind of filling out all of the... We've got a lot of sessions that have been backlogged there. You can go back and see some of the hints for the mysteries we've got set up in the story, and it's a lot of fun. Other than that, for announcements, we're pretty clear from now. We're going to keep going on in the near future for some further sessions here in the Defiant Smiles. But first, I believe, as Victoria's indicated, we have a crit corner. Now, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a couple sessions.
It's been a couple sessions of crit corner.
I will not be winning the crit corner, because I can never roll crits.
It's going to be me or Clella, is my guess.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I'm just going to combine both sessions.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Elle had 3 natural 20s over the course of 2 sessions.
Nice.
Ismini had 5 natural 20s over the course of 2 sessions.
You roll d20s?
Yeah, I do. I roll a lot more d20 than you realize.
Okay.
Hex, spell attacks. Come on, man.
Yeah. You had 2 natural 20s. Ralnor had 1. I only had 2, and then you had 1 natural 20.
I had 1 natural 20 in 2
I realized I was looking
sessions.
at the nat ones when I answered your question, so...
Ouch.
You know, if every 1 natural 20 marks off.
I have to inspire some confidence into this die. You tell me about these fails as I'm charging up another die.
Ismini had 2. Elle had 5 natural 1s.
It's like, she did keep rolling natural ones last time.
That's a lot like how the Star Wars recordings have been going.
Jeez, yeah. Maya, you had 2, and then
Yeah.
Mr. DM, you had 2 natural 1s.
It means you had -1 natural 20s.
Yeah, this is I think the first negative. I think I've been mostly even or positive in the past. Ooh, I'll have to balance that out some today, I think.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not. Let's not and say you did.
How's the KD ratio going right now?
Oh yeah, I've died so many times this campaign, guys. You guys have died once. Well, twice, 2 deaths.
2 deaths.
2
One of them
deaths.
was just more
Permanent.
immediately fixable is what I was going to say. I was trying to stay on the positive side.
Well, one last thing. This isn't so much an announcement, just a little bit of internal talk about Dungeons and Dragons. While we enjoy streaming here, we just like playing games. We've talked a little bit about the wargaming tournaments we've been going to. Some of us here have been playing with the new Commander decks for Magic the Gathering. But I want to mention a little bit of prep work I've been doing here in the back end, not for the stream, but just for the home. You got to make sure you're still playing games, trying different stuff out. And for us, that has been my work on Wrath of the Righteous. We've played several campaigns together, but this campaign over in Pathfinder, you two, specifically Victoria and Connor, have had a very interesting spin on it.
Very, very much bro moments.
Yeah, we're bros in that for sure.
You both have chose to play very devout characters.
Yeah.
Ready to smite your foes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take down the sinners in Wrath of the Righteous.
Yeah.
The sinners being literal demons made of evil,
Okay.
to be fair.
Heretics.
Yeah, the heretics are a rough take from you two.
Yeah.
But the reason I want to bring this up is because the same thing with the one shot, our home games. I really encourage if you're playing a long-standing game at home, maybe you're the dungeon master and you're trying to find new ideas. Maybe you're a player and you've been playing the same character for a long time but don't want to die. I highly encourage trying out a one shot. Maybe give a different system a try. There's a lot of great systems out there. There's a lot of great stories that have been written or stories that you could write yourself. And I think all of that can help improve both your enjoyment of tabletop role-playing overall, but also make the games you're playing now better. I think that working on Wrath of the Righteous with the two of you and your religious zealotry has made writing religious characters for this more interesting. And I hope to feel the effects of your excellent role-playing on some of those characters I'll be making for future sessions.
All right.
So thanks, you two.
We're just over here yelling, and you're like, "Thank you for yelling."
Yeah, you did. You've burned a lot of people. We'll talk about it. Again, bad guys, but still, we'll have to talk about the immolation frequency on that campaign. You guys want to recap before we jump into tonight's session?
Let's do a recap.
All right, Alex, let's do it. Last time when we met, the Defiant Smiles began competing in the Tournament of Blades. The Tournament of Blades is an event that happens once only every few years, where all sorts of warriors and mercenaries from across the continent of Gren gather together in a city known as the Runehold. These warriors face off in both team and solo combat, facing puzzles, challenges, monsters, and even one another, in order to prove themselves to their kings, queens, and other rulers of their home nations. The winners, and those who were chosen by their rulers, become known as Blades, the right-hand advisors and protectors of the most powerful people within Gren. This year, the Defiant Smiles were one of those participants. They had traveled northward to eventually reach the Runehold for quite some time, meeting a number of strange characters along the way, but finally settling in an encampment of heroes and mercenaries just outside of the city walls. They met several figures there, including an odd elvish man named Aranel. Aranel was a worshipper of Corlon, god of the elves, just like our dear Mycilia, though his powers have appeared to have waned, if not been eclipsed entirely. The party offered some assistance in the future to perhaps pray over Aranel and hope to reestablish his connection to the god of elves, and more importantly, the Moon Mother. Additionally, before the party could begin their participation in round 1 of the Tournament of Blades, a few of them met an odd character, a woman named Delilah Arendral, one of Ililie's mothers. She asked the party a few questions without El's knowledge in order to ascertain how her adventures had been going, if she was safe, and to judge the quality of character of her daughter's companions. Seemingly making a positive impression, she was forced to leave, going to rejoin her friends, the Guardians of the Silver Dawn. The first round of the Tournament of Blades was a test design by the fifth Blade of Issel, Archmage Salen Starsblood, a powerful conjuration mage who had studied all manner of magic at the Tower of Aeons. He had created a sort of labyrinth in the form of a castle-like dome that the various adventurers and mercenaries marched through, facing its traps, puzzles, and monsters. And eventually, those who took on the challenge and were able to persevere were met with these strange arcane constructs, massive, nearly 15-foot long hands, these greater graspers that served as a sort of final boss to this challenge. The Defiant Smiles took this entire challenge head on, meeting with a few strange characters on the inside, including mimics and the now familiar half-elven woman Rena, who they offered assistance to rather than eliminating her from the tournament. The party was successful and now finds themselves just outside of this labyrinth. Cheers still happening in the air. You can see other competitors here have been slowly making their way out. Some of them conscious, walking out triumphantly. Others being carried out, you see, by a number of these priests and healers who are there for the unconscious, not dead, members of the sort of the different challengers. Those people are now eliminated from the tournament. And that's where we're going to begin our session. We're still in the thick of it. I think quite a few of you are a fair bit injured or at least tired from the day's events. It's sunny. It's probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's still warm here. We're in a nice Issel summer. How are we looking?
We made it out. I'm healthy, but
I'm okay.
I think my companions may be a little more injured.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
Me.
Can I know how much health you have?
I have 30 for health.
That's less bad than I expected with how you had stated. That's not good.
I got healed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was lower. I was in the 20s.
Okay.
That's not as good.
We try not to have that happen.
It's like a quarter of my
So-
HP.
We need to buy healing potions, is what I'm hearing, before the next round. Because I was the only one who had any.
Yeah. I have on my character sheet printed from a printer the words potion of healing and then a big fat 0 next to it.
I have one greater potion of healing.
I have a literal 0 next to potions of
Well,
healing.
I have 4 left.
You
Okay,
all would
we should go do
know.
that.
Now you have one of the people who's both a one of the participants is funding his entry by also assisting with getting information in people's hands. A young dwarf named Tendry. Now he's already explained a little bit about how this tournament is happening. The first few rounds are going to be happening essentially one per day. And there's going to be a couple of days break before the Champions Feast, where those who are remaining get a little bit of celebration before the finals.
So we don't have a day in between. We're going tomorrow morning. We're doing.
Yeah,
the
you
next-
have this
Okay,
afternoon.
I need to change something then, because I don't think I have that prepped. And if I do have it prepped, I don't think I can cast it.
Yes, you have this afternoon, tomorrow morning before your next event probably happens tomorrow, a little before noon, I would say.
Then I'm going to put a different spell into the ring because I can't put that spell into the ring.
As you're kind of here cooling off, taking some breaths, you can see other people who are just funneling out. You see the Ashen League banners held high, a good number of them still within the tournament, marching proudly.
Do we see the princess's face?
Give me a quick perception check. I don't. You were up there, so it's very
Yeah.
easy. I want to see with all the chaos that's going on here. I would say this is a pretty easy check.
13.
13. Kind of try to finding your orientation here is a little bit hard, as maybe you're not used to all of the screaming crowd here. The faces of the less wealthy individuals here at the lower levels. You see smiths and merchants, some farmers who've saved up their wages in order to come and enjoy this event, cheering out. But eventually, you find by following the eye line of the Ashen League, the red and black box seating where you can see King Mudrust, and sitting at his right hand is Princess Josephine. Although you can tell a little bit by the way she's posed, she's less sitting and just like risen up. She's as up as you can be with bottom still on the chair, like she wants to leap out forward. Her hands clasped. You can see there's red in her cheeks with her excitement. You see Elle kind of sheepishly kind of wave up towards the princess. But they are the seating where the higher boxes are. They're about 30 or so feet up, and it's very loud. So communication's hard. But if you wanted to make a gesture of any sort here, you of course can.
I was just curious if she was watching Elle.
Oh.
Gotta help this romance along.
Yeah.
Yes, Chloe's not here, so they can't protest too much.
Right.
Yep.
I'm not seeing anything in chat, so we're good.
So, you see you've seen the Ashen League. You also do kind of, because you were able to watch from some of this illusory magic that showed what was happening inside of this dome here. You can see that there are others who have come through. Eventually, you notice that Rena and Tendry are standing with one another and are just kind of having a conversation here, both looking maybe a little bit injured, but there's the very clear sense that they've made it through here. They're walking along with a couple of other warriors here, and at this point, you can tell those who are still conscious in there are unlikely to finish the labyrinth before the end of the time.
I just had the realization that if we're ever suspicious of somebody being like not from this plane, I could just banish them and see what happens.
That is true.
Yeah.
If we get into like a really sticky social situation and
Yeah.
we think that somebody may also be from another plane, we can just go boop
Banish them
and wait for a minute.
and just have a cup of tea or
Yeah.
You could always put a cage where they're gonna appear. And
Yeah, banish plus force cage.
That's a very powerful combination.
It's very expensive too. It's 1,500 gold to cast force cage, I believe.
You're just kind of... I want to double check if it consumes it. I think it consumes.
It consumes.
Looking around, looking for potential targets, you see the Eltsian box with King Mudrust and his daughter.
Definitely
You look
not from here.
Further over, and you see a slightly raised platform where you see the halfling King of Issel, Sigurd. He sits atop his throne. Standing at his side, you can see the first blade, Thalia, who's like a human woman with longer, sort of blonde hair. And then I don't believe most of you have seen this individual before, but you would be familiar with her. Ismini is seated in a similarly adorned throne, is a high elven woman wearing sort of a soft yellow veil that covers like the sides of her head, somewhat a fine gown with this long silver bow rested against her seat. You would know this to be Queen Liara, Sigurd's wife. I don't know why that got squinty eyes from you. But what would you all like to do here? You're close to the town if you wanted to go head into town. If you want to go take a short rest over at the camp, that's also an option. You can't help but notice that Ililie is standing frozen, looking up towards one of the box seats.
Follow the eye line.
Is it the lady that we saw?
Kind of giving a quick look up, while you do not see the woman you saw before, you see a half-familiar face. There is a blonde woman, an elven woman, half-elven woman who is standing atop this. She bears a familiar red and blue crest and has locked eyes with Ililie. Elle turns to Ismini and begins whispering in her ear.
No, I won't banish you. You are from this plane. My plan will not work.
I want to avoid role-playing
Right, I
as
know.
Claw's character, but just to explain,
Right.
essentially, Elle is, I have to go handle. I have to go speak with my mother, Ceastus Arendral.
Yes.
So this is her other mother is here. Elle is happy to, if there is anything that you needed from Elle, if this is the point where Elle hands things over, but I don't think there is anything of specific.
all of your gear, you are not allowed to have shoes.
No shoes. Elle can't do a 5K without shoes. That's ridiculous.
Sure.
But you watch as Elle, deep breath before begins walking up towards the staircase that leads to the box seating to go meet with her mother. But it looks like you're going to have some time here without your half-elven party member. What would you like to do?
To shopping, because apparently we don't have a diamond to revivify somebody.
Or healing potions.
One reminder is that Revivify does not require a diamond. It's a collection of diamonds that in total are worth 300 gold or more. So you don't need to get a big diamond, which specifically in our setting we've talked about, large diamonds are hard to find.
Yeah.
But Revivify luckily uses a collection of diamonds. It doesn't have to be one 300 gold diamond.
Okay.
Which you would not be buying for 300 gold. It's
Yes.
an odd quirk of the system.
Right. What the actual value is versus... Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go do some shopping. And,
Yeah, we
you know,
can't go somewhere that diamonds are super rare and pay 300 gold for a little diamond ship. Call it enough for Revivify. Yeah, that would be good.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I think that being the most responsible people here
Yes.
in the room
Yes.
should probably try to figure out what's up next.
Oh,
Like
get
figure out
some
what the next round is gonna
inside info.
Inside info, so
I
we
can
can
ask around.
prepare better. That's my thought, at least.
Little Ralnor, your little creature, just kind of seems very pleased with himself.
Maybe we'll get food and then try to suss out the competition.
Ah.
be. True. If anyone knows anything, they'd be talking about it over food and drink, celebrating.
You know the word food.
Are you learning common?
Do you know the word nap?
Shoe.
Okay.
Thinks they're the same thing.
It's learning
Probably.
common.
Learning slowly but surely going to learn, but only the most important words in
Like
common.
shoe and food.
Like shoe and food.
Okay. I got a hankering for a turkey leg, so if
Oh,
we
man.
could try to locate
Love
one
a
of
turkey
those,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Okay, what kind of establishment should we be looking out for? Do we want like a nice establishment or like a not nice
Yeah,
establishment?
you guys can go into the town, or you could go
We're
to the
looking at
mess hall over
Food
at.
stalls?
Let's go look for the one that has the lion. That's probably the one that has the good food.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's fair.
Or to cheapest.
We'll figure it out.
I
We'll ask
would,
people.
I would like anyone who wants to go asking around and trying to do this sort of thing to make me a charisma investigation check.
Okay.
It's a charisma check that uses your investigation if you are proficient. I think you should be good at this, Thorn, because you're generally good at speaking with folks, gathering that sort of information.
So I just add my charisma modifier.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm not. What?
So it's a charisma check, and if you're proficient in investigation, you add your proficiency. Little quirk of 5e's. All these checks aren't locked to only being tied to one stat. Can I get your results?
19.
19.
Nice.
Wowzers.
17.
17.
17. I would say these are all particularly good scores here. You all take some time passing by some of these. There's a lot of these mercenaries that are really just getting into it in this field. There's a couple of folks who get broken up as there's some tension between. You see one of the groups of halfling warriors. Someone makes some sort of comment at them and they just begin squaring up against this collection of sort of this motley crew of like. You see like some half-orcs and humans wearing like these sort of curved scimitars on their hip. Some sort of dissonance happening there. You make your way out, kind of taking your cheers as you're passing by, and find yourself taking the path towards the Runehold, past the beautiful gates of its outer walls, into this very festive market square that has been set up just inside the city. You can see that because there is a river that surrounds where you are here, there's some nice sort of open spaces, lots of foot traffic happening here. Sometimes you're walking around, people kind of calling out and waving. So you're getting some rapport with the city here. The two senses are really important here: sound and smell. As you're kind of looking around, you've been asking some folks. And more importantly, is Meanie, well, you see your friends here chatting up some of the locals here, maybe picking out some of the more well-fed individuals on the streets of the Runehold. You go start talking to someone with particularly nice shoes.
Yeah.
Asking where you could go, to find some good grub. And there is a recommendation.
All right.
Apparently, one of the best butchers in the South End here is over by where they're doing a small tournament. Between the events, there's all sorts of games and events that are happening within the city. And apparently, there's a couple of knights that are performing in a little jousting event here. One of the butchers there has got quite a bit of food that if you'd like to go get some the best sausages this side of the rupture. It's a bold claim. But you can tell this person is this relatively wealthy nobleman is talking about a commoner's stand. So they must stick out in some way to take meat on stick.
Great.
But if you want something fancier, I can also give you that sort of result.
We want it good.
I don't know. Meat on a stick sounds pretty.
Meat on a
fancy.
stick
Meat
sounds
on a
pretty
stick.
fancy.
Meat on a stick sounds fancy to you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, my classic
It doesn't
party.
sound fancy to me, but I'm feeding into this indulgence.
Victoria wants this.
I would like
Great.
meat on a stick, please.
Have you ever had meat on a stick?
I have had
Turkey leg on a stick.
I would love a turkey leg.
All right.
Great.
So, continuing into the town, following the directions that Ismini kind of got located for you, you hear the sounds of horses galloping in thick mud and sand just being stirred up as they're participating in a joust. Yes, Connor?
Nothing.
You have something for the class?
It's just I wrote something down, and the words that I wrote are really funny.
You're very funny, Connor.
Jousting meat sticks.
Okay. Quote of the day.
Flip it.
Oh, do we have anybody we need to be concerned is actively trying to murder us right now?
Not that I've clocked.
Well, I mean, like last time we were in a big city, we were actively
I guess we should keep our wits about us, but
like I don't know how
it's
much.
usually when we're alone, though.
Right, but like there's
haven't really-
opportunity to be alone while we're here, you know?
We
Like
haven't really caused any havoc,
We'll
though.
just
We
stick
haven't
together,
stuck our
then.
nose into anybody's shady business yet.
You're the only person who knows people in this city, essentially. This is much further north than the two of you have.
right.
New-
I know that like Undercroft probably doesn't have any reach here, but if they really wanted to get rid of us, we're outside of familiar territory for half of us.
It's also a lot of large crowds.
It'd be
so
very easy
kinda-
to slip a dagger into somebody's ribs.
That's true.
But as you talk about slipping a dagger between someone's ribs, you hear hundreds of people cheering out as one of these knights gets knocked clean from their horse, as another in sort of dull. It's still steel armor, but it's not particularly fancy. Shatters a shield with their lance and continues riding down the lane. Seemingly a big upset. You hear a bunch of people. Different responses, people passing out gold coins as they've been betting on the games.
Short rest, jousting, and meats.
Yeah.
Can we
Now,
watch?
there is also the delicious smell of meat on a stick. There is the famous butcher here, Billy, is here and got his stand set up. You okay?
The eyes roll back to the normal
Yeah, it's
place.
good.
I get the reference.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's good.
But heading on over, getting in line. What is it you don't like to eat? You can see there are these massive links of sauce, of different spiced sausages. There's all sorts of manner of cured meat, and then there are turkey legs on a stick.
Definitely
A small
turkey leg.
hand-carved sword pierced through the thickest part of this turkey drumstick.
Turkey leg, turkey leg.
Turkey
I would
leg.
like your finest meat stick, please.
He calls you some choice words before handing each of you this bit of turkey. That will be 5 silvers from each of you.
All right.
This is the most expensive creme de la creme here going on. It is expensive for fair food, but you got the most expensive option.
I would like your finest
Fair
meat
food's always
stick.
expensive.
Additionally,
Yeah.
you find yourself if you actually would like to, as Connor said, are we actually going to watch some jousting?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll take a big bite of turkey and a mouthful. Ask him, is there a place to make bets?
The butcher here is happy to go ahead and begin pointing you over towards. I don't want to say a bookie because that's not how medieval bets work, but you do see there is a small.
Not a medieval bookie.
Yeah, it is going to be a medieval bookie here in the end, but you see there is actually this man who's walking near the edge of this of the jousting arena. He has on him this wooden object that has been strapped to his arm with a series of stone rings. It's an abacus, essentially. And on the other side, you see this belt filled that's got these different pouches that have been locked to his belt itself. The man jingles and sways as he continues moving through. Hi, Distal's place. And so you see that there seems to be someone who's taking and collecting the bets, occasionally referring to a small bit of parchment he has with him.
Oh, so that's the guy. I point with my turkey leg.
Point with your,
I'm gonna go make a bet. If you guys want to come.
All right. Yeah, I have who I want to bet on.
All right. So the three of you finding your way over to this strange human individual. You see he wears a sort of jester's hat, floppy with a pair of gold coins where the bells would be at the end of this. You've come to place bets then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got a few people who are playing at the moment. We've got Meltol the Worthy, Sir Borin Brownbeard of Gorbarim. We've got the Wizened Knight. He points over towards the dull, sort of dull armored individual on the far side, and of course, the favorite, the Slayer of Savastan.
Can I see who has the meanest looking horse?
That's really cool. So what I'm going to say is this. I will allow each of you to make one sort of skill check about these if you'd like before you choose. You're wanting to look at horse.
I want to look at the meanest horse.
So I'm going to give you the option. This will either be a... Nature makes a lot of sense. Animal handling makes a lot of sense to me. And if you have something else, pitch it and I'll hear your argument.
You said nature or...
Nature or animal handling make a lot of sense to me.
I shall do nature.
You're okay with nature?
Yeah.
Did you have a sort of thing? What are you looking for?
I want to see who has the most worn armor. Who's like really taken.
Ooh, this is just straight up going to be an investigation check. And finally, Laurentius, what do you look for in a jouster?
Who has? Okay, so I want to watch them. Go one round, and I want to see which ones are focused on the target more, or which ones like turn away just before it hits.
Ooh, I would call that insight. You're trying to judge someone's their reactions. Are they afraid of the hit?
Right.
I'll ask for an insight check on that. Okay. So first, looking for the meanest horse. We've got Ismini. How'd you do?
Mark me down for a natural 1.
Okay.
For a
total
6.
For a total of 6. Kind of looking at the horses, there's not much to say, though you do happen to notice that the dwarven man, Sir Brownbeard, that is not a horse. That is an oversized goat. You see these ram horns? It's a ram, not a goat. It is certainly shorter than the other horses, but you see that he carries a large lance. But mean, you can't really say. None of the horses are wearing spikes, for example. Even the slayers. Now you were interested in the worn armor. How was your check?
16.
A 16. Looking at each of them, you see that Sir Meltol the Worthy is quite polished with a gold pauldron adorning one side, a sort of red half cape flung over his shoulder. His armor looks quite new. Sir Borin Brownbeard has quite well-worn armor, but it's fine. It's dwarven armor. It looks thick. It's not damaged. It's scuffed. Like the outer decorative paint that has been applied for this tournament has mostly been worn, and however many times he's been going to bed. The Slayer of Savastan has armor that bears a huge gash over one pauldron, and it looks like several pieces have been repaired over time. But what you do notice is that over where he is currently, by his squire, getting a new shield affixed, is that there are easily a half dozen splintered lances there. And finally, the Wizened Knight, who does not appear to have a squire, has armor that is very dull and plain. It is worn, but it doesn't look rusty. It looks like it's less well made. Like it looks like a standard issue set of plate armor. I think that is that fair for.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
And finally, you had asked about who was looking away, how they were
Who's flinching,
reacting.
essentially. Yeah.
How was your roll?
23.
You know what I'm gonna do? Because I think it's because you would only see like one joust in this time, I think, before you can make these bets.
Sure.
I'm gonna roll, and I'll tell you 2 of them. Or if you'd prefer, name me 2 people and I'll give you that answer.
Wise Knight, and then the favorite.
Ooh, the Slayer versus the Wizened Knight. So good. I'll start off with the, I guess, bad news is both of them are quite bold. Each of them seemingly holding firm until the last moment. But the one distinction you notice is that the Slayer appears to be looking at this shield, looking down, ready to thrust. The Wizened Knight's eyes are forward and unconcerned.
Okay, cool.
One looks more focused, but the other looks like they're fully in their element.
Cool.
So I ask each of you, what would you like to place a bet?
Mm-hmm.
And how much?
10 gold on the Wise Knight.
10 gold on the Wise Knight.
200 on the Wise Knight.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna join you. 200 on the Wise Knight.
Oh my gosh!
Sure, why not? 200 on the
All
Wise
right,
Knight.
let me check. So originally my cap. So now hold on. That's a lot of gold to be putting down all at once. And listen, the woman's not likely to make this one, but I've got to speak with someone just to have a bit of a guarantor on this. It's you're betting against the odds here. The bookie steps away because you're trying to put 600 gold down on someone.
Well, you said it, and I'm like, oh, you know what? You're right. Gold's nothing.
Because should you win this, you'll get just shy of 2,000 gold
Cool.
in total between the 3 of you.
And if we
Pay for
don't
the
win,
trip.
then we only lost 600 gold.
Right.
pieces.
Yeah.
Being more like euphemistic with that name, they do not appear to have been quite as. They do not appear to be the favorite here today. Going back, waiting a little bit for this bookie to go speak with the person in charge, comes with a small chest that he now carries. All right. Unhooks the chest. You watch as the key almost disappears as he uses sleight of hand just to hide the key. Yes?
I pull my cards out while this is happening.
What are you doing?
I cast augury.
I would think it would take more than a minute for him to do
It takes
this.
10 minutes to cast. I'm not going to be able to cast it in time, right? Yeah. Wait.
Hey, I'll give you 10 minutes if you want to do it.
Yeah, augury's in 1 minute, so yeah, it'll be 10 minutes to cast.
Or do you have the spell slot?
No, I don't have it prepped.
Oh,
And
okay.
I can't flip to it because it's not.
Okay, well, I rolled poorly, so I'll go ahead and say you're allowed to cast augury. Give me your question. It's wheel or woe for this, I believe.
Wheel, and woe, or nothing.
Cool.
We are about to put 600 gold down in a jousting match that we know nothing about on the Wise Knight.
You consider your options before gambling, reaching out to whatever gods or spirits will answer, and receive wheel and woe.
Oh, this is beautiful. Let's do it. I relay this.
It's almost like we win or we lose. That's weird.
I just wanted to cast it because if I get to cast it again, there's a chance of failure, and I really want to get to a failure state.
Alright, yeah, 200 gold.
All right. So you all know that it still will be another hour or two before you're allowed to return to Josephine to bring her back to the encampment. Because you're sort of watching her, but she's currently still with the king and his entourage. So she's safe, and you're expected to come back later in the evening. All right. Listen, I've got permission here. You want to put your coins right in here, and, well, most likely I'll be leaving with this chest. No returns.
Nope.
No take backsies. Takes each you this pouch of 20 platinum pieces from each of you. Heavy little chest here. Pleasure doing business. Well, I suppose if the gods are in your favor, I'll be seeing you in a bit.
What was your name?
Chet.
Chet.
Nice
Thanks,
to meet you,
Chet.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
A hex
It's
chat.
Chetney to my mum.
A hex chat. Hex isn't Hunter's Mark, but I wish that it was.
But you guys, I will say this: you can see him from where you sit in the stands watching the jousting.
Okay.
This is not quite as fancy of a thing. You can see there look to be a couple of local lords but it doesn't look like any of the big money tickets. None of the kings are here. But sitting up in this... Oh no, Victoria has left.
We probably just made the biggest bet on this entire jousting tournament.
This is a big bet. Now, here's the thing. The people you're competing against at that level of betting are the people sitting in the good seats. Now, I'm going to give Victoria a minute here. I'm going to curious because we got a little mini game coming up. So, what are the two of you talking about while people are getting set up? You watch a couple of the lesser knights go through. You see a pair of squires are dueling in the sand and the mud in the center.
What do you think round 2 is going to look like?
You know, we were put into a dungeon in which we had riddles to solve.
Not my strong suit.
No, that wasn't my strong suit either. I'd rather just kind of like burn my way through things sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of did that.
I kind of did that.
Yeah.
It worked a little bit.
Yeah.
You did burn the final door.
I didn't just burn the final door instead of figuring out the riddle. I don't know. I have a strong feeling it's going to be like more monsters because there wasn't really as many monsters. It was like magic constructs. I think round 2 is going to be like monsters.
Monsters. Okay.
And you also do know each round is made by one or more of the blades in this, like ascending order. And this, the first one was done by the big mage, who is one of the blades. The next round is done by an archer and a dwarven warrior. Are the two people in charge of this round?
Definitely monsters.
Monsters.
Yeah, 100
Okay.
pound monsters. Yeah. Maybe we'll find another bullet.
I hope not. I don't like those.
So, I made a little. There's a little mini game here, and because we do not have Clella here tonight, I've decided I will be playing tonight's favorite, and each of you will be rolling for one of the jousters.
Okay, so we want to roll poorly.
One of us wants to roll well.
Oh, you're playing the...
I'm the favorite, not the wise knight. I am
okay,
the
got it.
slayer.
So who is rolling hot?
Yeah, which one of you wants to be the one who has to roll the dice to
I think
gamble?
Victoria, who rolled the 6 nat 20s last time.
But I rolled a nat 1 today.
You've already gotten bad look out.
Do you want me to be the... Sorry.
Okay.
Do you want me to be the wizened knight?
That's my...
Do you want to be him?
I don't care. It doesn't
Core,
matter.
I'm gonna go. You are Borin Brownbeard.
Cool.
You are Mertol the Worthy.
Maritol the Worthy. Got it.
Victoria is the wizened knight,
Brown bird.
and I am the slayer of Savastan. So how it's going to work? Each of you, I will not be telling you their dice modifiers here. We're each going to be rolling 1d20. The first match is between the wizened knight and Mertol the Worthy. We're seeing you bet on who the champion is going to be of these final rounds.
Okay.
So first, Victoria and Amanda, go ahead and make me this flat roll. Wizened Knight,
19.
19 on the die,
9.
9 on the die.
Woohoo!
Yeah, money.
This first round, you watch for a total well over 20. You watch as this wizened knight charges forward, shield in hand. The first, often joust is not decided instantaneously. The first pass, cracking each other's shields. Not much happens on the first one, but you watch as the wizened knight is kind of rocked back by the force of this worthy warrior, and you see that her helmet is sort of displaced briefly. She's a darker skinned woman with sort of like gray brown hair kind of peeking out of the back. And on the second one, adjusting with her lance hand, she charges and splinters the shield of the worthy, and the worthy is eliminated. Thank you so much, Amanda. You are helping your team earn money.
Yes.
On the other end, this is lower stakes. Connor, you see the next round that comes up is going to be the Slayer of Savastan versus Sir Borin Brownbeard. I keep wanting to say Bronzebeard. I don't know why.
Brown.
Ooh.
14.
I gotta double check my numbers here. You are Borin, and
Yeah,
I am the Slayer.
Borin Brownbeard.
We need to have a roll-off.
Ooh.
The first round, crash. You watch as the Slayer, with this strange, this very thin lance, pierces the shield, but yet his opponent, the dwarf, holds on and stays mounted. They go in for another pass. Okay, Connor, you need to roll a 15 on that die to get it.
I got a 6.
Okay. But on the second one, you watch as the Slayer crashes. Now we'll have the underdog here versus the wizened knight in their dull armor versus the Slayer of Savastan. The two make their way towards the edge. The Slayer bearing his bright red shirt, smile on his face as he drops his helm to the ground, ready, and begins charging, racing upwards towards the center field with his horse. The horse's massive black stallion crashing against the lance and shield of the wizened knight. Let's make our roll. And I'll just go ahead and let you roll the other hidden mechanic. Roll me a d6 on top of this.
Do you need this?
Are we bicycling on a joust? This feels like you're cheating the house.
We are.
600 gold.
Fuck the house.
Worse.
I'll spin my bicycle. Go again.
Oh, okay.
I'll spin on you guys.
That's better. Now roll a d6?
Yes, now roll your d6. Now the number to beat is you need to have, well, actually, with your combination, I don't know. What is your result? You add a 4 on top of this as her modifier.
Oh, 28. Are you because of the dice and the I add these two dice together?
You do.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's 3 successes. I did not roll well on the Slayer. You watch
It
it.
would've been a 22.
1 pass,
No.
2 pass. Finally, on the last one, you see that the man is not only his shield pierced. You see the Slayer's shield struck by the lance, but he's picked up off the horse as she rides 5-10 more feet before he drops to the ground. Furious, he tries to draw out his sword, but it's met with a lance pointed at him. Crowd going wild. You can see a very nervous-looking bookie at the far end of the seats. Mental link, just in case. Oh, how many turkey legs have you had, my friend?
I don't know. Is there a limit?
No.
Oh, okay.
How much silver you've got in your purse is probably the
Exactly.
limit.
It's not polite to count.
I got enough for like 6 more.
Okay. But over the next little bit of time, you'll be watching some more of the games. You eventually are able to meet with that bookie and make your additional gold. So you guys had put in 600 gold.
Yes.
You're getting you're getting 1800, but that's kind of you lost the money first, so you netted an additional 1200 gold on top of that.
5 by 3, that's...
You each earned 400 gold over what you
400
originally had. A huge bet. There's a big upset. One of the lords here invites you up to the box to share a cup of wine if you'd like to do
mine
so.
is 200 plus 400.
Yes.
No, mine is 200 plus 600.
Oh.
The 400 is if you did it. Numbers, man.
Okay. Yay!
You tripled your money.
Yeah.
Bum ba dum ba doodle dum.
That was
Worth
good.
a bicycle.
It was both hilarious that it was spent and also
Well, I'm out of them now for me.
Same.
I picked the Wise Knight because I've been talking to Ogma because I had no information about horses to go off of, so I just said, okay, we'll go with the smart one.
You can see as you're on your way out that the wizened knight in that last one is kind of just seated off to the side there, and has what looks to be a roll of these sort of like linen bandages and is patching up their wounds. It looks like they were hurt in that last bout, but just patching up. And you've still got time in the day if you'd like to continue traveling about the city.
We have
Well,
money. We can go buy things now.
I'm happy. I got big fat belly full of turkey.
Yeah, and we can assume you guys spend some time here enjoying some more of the games. Minor bets that kind of don't pan out sort of stuff.
We break even.
But this was, you break even, but that was the main event here.
Well, that was a good main event.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
What do we do now?
Any other time of the year, this would have been the event that the city would have freaked out about. It's just
We-
the tournament's also happening.
Maybe we go shopping with our newly won
Yes.
money
Let's go buy some potions.
because gambling pays off.
Gambling always pays
That's
off.
the moral. That's why we started this channel. We're actually going to start doing gambling streams now.
Yep.
Absolutely not.
As Meanie plays card games, and we gamble on.
Oh my gosh. Wait, gambling does keep working out for you guys. Oh no.
It does keep. You have taught us that gambling pays.
Oh no.
Why do we have so much party loot?
There is no god of gambling. Only the dice.
I have a new goal.
To become the god of gambling?
So
I had to
there
pick
was-
one to supplant.
Are you trying to just look to go to buy healing potions, or are you trying to buy something else?
Let's go buy healing potions, and then I like to find a bizarre trinket shop that may have like cursed magic items,
Peruse, like a monkey paw or something.
like a monkey's paw or something. Yeah, I want to go find the most cursed. It doesn't have to actually be cursed items, but I want to find like cursed items. You know what I mean? Like I want to find like a bauble that's just got like a rabbit's foot inside of it, but it doesn't have any fur. It's just like a foot.
Abso-freaking-lutely you can find this. This is fantastic. I'm going to ask for another investigation check from you, Asmini. This is just a flat investigation with advantage. This is going to come from your backstory.
23.
All right. And are you so are we divvying up? Are you going to oddity store and you going to potion stores, or do you want to just go together?
Well, I would.
Let's just go together.
Okay, I would like to go together.
Would we like to get you want to do potions first for bookkeeping?
Let's do potions first.
All right. So you are able to find pretty much any number of regular healing potions, but if you're looking for bigger ones, I'll need to know that as well.
I'd love to
Friends?
try to get medium ones if I could, and small ones are good too. for
Yeah,
me.
small ones are
Yes,
always
there's
good.
plenty of medium ones. You are able to find someone who's willing to sell you any number of the, small ones. But you also, from this alchemist, are able to get up to 4 mediums and up to 1 large. That's again 2, 4, 8.
So it would be the total for all of the medium
Let me
and large.
double check because I don't remember my price for
Sure.
the largest here.
And then we can just buy a few.
But regular potions of healing
They're
are
50.
so I'm gonna do 4 of those for 200.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm back to the original starting gold that I had.
How we just won 600.
Oh, from whenever my sheet was printed.
Oh.
Okay, so if you're just buying them, if you're buying straight up, and he'll give you a minor bonus if you're buying multiples. It looks like he's going to be charging, it's 50 gold for the basic one, it's 450 for a medium, and it's 1,800 for a large.
I can front the money for the large one if you guys want to split the medium ones.
Sure.
What do you guys want?
I'll get
Okay.
2 mediums.
I'll go 2 mediums. How much are the mediums?
900 from each of you,
Okay.
and 1,800
Cool.
for you.
900 is 90 platinum.
Yes. And then how many smalls do we want? Like 10? 10 would be the most you could realistically get from your cursory research today.
I bought 4.
You bought 4?
Mm.
Great. You can mark the coins.
Yeah.
You know how much it's worth. Potions of healing, unlike most magic items, are quite common in our setting.
I'll also get 4.
Great. I trust you to do all your math.
I've been doing this long enough.
I'll just get 2 small ones.
Yeah. My whole reason for having small potions is just to bring somebody from 0 practically.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that superior? Is that the large one? Like,
Because there's a 4th one, and the 4th one we never
Supreme.
use.
It's like
Supreme is the
Supreme,
4th one.
yeah.
So superior is
Okay.
the
and
large.
that would be the
8.
8. So
8d4 plus 8. It makes me so mad that every time I think of the large one, the numbers should match. It's because it's 10. It's 10d4, and I'm just not about it. So I wanted a 16. I want to roll 16 d4s, even if it's inconvenient.
So 44 plus 4.
44 plus 4 is the middle. Greater. healing.
And you bought 2, I bought 2.
I bought 2, yep.
Yep. And they're expensive. It's efficient to buy the cheap ones, but in battle, getting more health is really important.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you do, as you are traveling, having done your investigation, you hear of a place, Agatha's Anomalies. You begin
Yes.
passing through the streets, going further away from the sort of festival grounds on the edge of town. I need you to roll me just a flat d20 real quick, just to see if any happenstance here.
8.
8. You're making your way, kind of things calming down. You can see as it's getting slightly orangey in the sky. Like we're with the kind of heavier cloud cover that seems to be coming in from the from the east. It seems like there's a small hint of a chill running along your backs as the winds begin to pick up a little bit. Things getting dimmer, the streets getting quieter, before you hear crying out, "Why? Why the lot of you continue to bear arms for false causes?" A man clad in a simple, this sort of dark green tunic. There is a collection of long, these look like chains, like you'd see on prisoners, dangling over his shoulders, swaying and just clacking against each other like some sort of necromantic wind chime. But this old human man, wisps of hair still hinting at the side of his face, kind of looks to the pair of the trio of you, holding a torch in his hand as he walks through one of the alleys. "You, it's folly, the lot of you."
Does this guy have a smell coming off of him? When was the last time he bathed?
Woof, woof. You take a deep breath nearby and regret it. It's make a con save. I want to know how if your face kind of jumps out when he's talking. But this very very wrinkled face.
17?
17. You can hold it in, but it's gross.
Okay.
You've not considered what your actions have wrought. To your very soul, your heart.
Do I see a holy symbol on him of some kind? Like,
Giving him a quick once-over. Even with there's not much to look at, so I'm not going to make you roll for this. You see a bunch of chains here. You can make me a religion check to see if there's something that maybe really. There's no obvious holy symbol on him though. All these.
Math 20.
Math 20. You are not familiar. If you think of what chain iconography, there are worshippers of the god of death, and there are worship of the god of tyranny that would bear chains, but those chains would normally be associated with some other more obvious symbols. They would normally be they'd be manacles and not just links of chain, and also would typically have more skull iconography than this. This doesn't immediately jump out with a 20 as it being a particular religion.
Is meanie
You,
banishment? No, I'm just kidding.
that sword. Why do you carry it?
Protects me and my friends.
And you've only used it for protection, never to go and make a silver or find glory.
We're literally
Well, that too,
mercenaries.
What does it do to a man? A sword. What does a breastplate reflect upon your very heart? What does a crown do to the mind of one who bears it?
Oh, okay. Easy, Aristotle.
Make your jokes.
Sorry, that one got me.
The color of your spirit cares not for your japes. The lot of you, they'll abandon you, each and every one. Your pointed crown bearers. They'll protect themselves with blade and coin alike. You'll be trampled beneath their feet.
Spits on the ground. This man, crooked face, pointed eyebrow, just furious looking, begins kind of waddling past you. He stops close to Mai.
Ugh. And you're no better hiding behind your moon.
The Moon Mother guides us all.
Ugh. Until other things have her vision.
I'd like
the
to-
odd, yeah.
I'd like to pop Squawk out of his extra-dimensional portal and just have him fly over the head of the man for a little bit. Just, like, freak him out.
Okay.
Circle.
Like you're just having him spin around?
No, like a scary bird omen circling in the air.
Are you going into senses or just setting him off to do that?
Just setting him off to do that.
Okay. Give me a... You let the old man pass?
Yeah.
I don't.
Continues his way.
Holding my nose.
Fools and charlatans, the lot of them.
I'm gonna work out.
Have a nice day.
I'm following this old man for a little while.
Following this old man.
Yeah.
Ismini puts her hand on one of your shoulders so that she can continue to walk with you. And you see the man continue his way through the streets, passing through alley, under covered sections. But Squawk stays on him, fluttering between buildings where needed, seeing this man pass by mercenary, warrior, knight, peasant, merchant. saunter further into the city.
And doesn't turn into a werewolf at any point.
Does not. He also doesn't seem to stop to talk to anyone. His chains simply rattling as crowds
So he was
part
just
around
harassing
him.
us.
How long are you following him for?
I'm gonna be starting to head in that direction so I can keep following him. No, I'm.
Are you following him now?
Oh, I need Squawk to stay with him for as long as possible.
I think. Oh, it's not a mile. It's how long is your vision?
Feet, something like that. I don't remember. It's been so long.
Load, load, load.
I think it's 100 feet, but I'm probably wrong.
Regardless, we're gonna.
Yeah, it's 100 feet.
100 feet. So you continue following her for a bit of time, and it takes him a few minutes before he stops somewhere, stepping into a sort of. It's some sort of craftsman's shop, not a store, but somewhere where something is produced. And through Squawk's eyes, you see a large logo with a some sort of large. It's a big creature bearing its teeth. These two paws coming out. It says Barrack Beer and Ale. And you watch as the man steps inside this brewery and disappears behind its wooden door.
Ah, the town drunk.
It is not a tavern. It's very specifically not a tavern.
Ah, town brewer.
But why would he stop and single us out? We'll go there later. Let's not worry about it this exact minute, but
Put a
we'll go
pin
there
in it.
later.
Yes, you did not ask his name.
Yeah.
Okay. With that out of the way, you find your way to Agatha's Anomalies. This sort of hole in the wall. It's you can see that it's less of a structure than a constructed, hardened tent made to fill out an alley between two finer establishments on either side. This building, narrow, only again filling in this alley space. It pushes deep into the darkness, the opening purple veils protecting its contents within. A woman beckons you inside. Yes, please, dearie, come on inside. You come looking for trinkets.
Absolutely.
Delightful. You see this this madam step forward. She's got long. You can see the sleeves of her fine. This sort of like. I want to almost. What is the word? Fry. Victoria. What is the word?
Like a cardigan?
Cardigan. It's sort of like a long cardigan with these sort of transparent sleeves with a small starry pattern towards the edges of them. This
Got the
kind.
the Stevie Nicks look going on.
Yeah,
She's.
a little bit
Oh my
Stevie
gosh.
Nicks.
She's very.
Okay.
This is older, but yes.
Yeah.
This is older human woman with
Stevie Nicks now.
her hair is pulled back with a
American
trio
Horror
of
Story.
fine braids that have been put into her hair. Well then, please take a look. You can see as you kind of gaze further down into the alley, this sort of structure put into the alley, there are all manner of bolts of fine fabrics. There are these strings of maybe bone or teeth that are just dangling from the ceiling. You see a collection of these discs. Think like a CD shape, so like a donut-y shape, kind of flat, made of different materials. The closest one that you can see looks like it's made of jade, an incredibly valuable resource. Further in, there's a collection of these strange cube-based dolls where they're like a cube with a humanoid dome head at the top.
I begin to fill my shopping cart. First thing I'm going to do is buy inks and incenses to cast Squawk 5 more times.
Absolutely, she sells those.
Yeah. I know where I come to.
Is this where Wizard shop?
Yes.
It can be.
Okay.
This is my type of place to
Yeah.
be.
It's a lovely
Should
room
you
at
wish to create magic or ward against it, I have wares in spades.
If I'm looking to waste a lot of my money, what should I purchase?
Money is valueless without
Exactly.
spending it. Well, what are you trying to do? Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
I would love new methods of protection for myself or others.
She reaches out kind of quickly grasping your arm, pulling you slightly closer, and taking the outer sleeve of your protective jacket and pushing it up, revealing your right forearm. Your skin is too smooth. You've not trained with a shield?
I have not.
A pity. What about the sturdy one over there? Could he teach you?
Probably.
I have a shield.
Yeah, could you teach me how to use one?
Yeah, you strap it to your arm.
Great.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a great teacher.
I think I could teach you a little better.
Probably.
I believe some of us have no need to bear anything too terribly heavy. She takes a few steps over and begins pulling out this, pulling things from this one table. Just a pile of junk that she's moving aside. You see a long silk dress. You watch as she pulls a scabbard for some sort of strange, jagged sword, tosses it to the side. You see her pull out not one, but two different skulls.
To get the sword and the scabbard, you gotta go back and forth.
Yeah, it's wild. How do you sheath this?
You put it in, the sword just goes like this. Down to the
And then she goes, ah. She picks up what first looks like this gray sort of oval sort of shape and blows the dust off of this beautiful, you can see that there is this sort of like a greenish blue glass oval. But inside you can see inlaid is this bronze set of concentric kind of circular shapes. And looks to be some sort of runes. Perfect. And crashes it against the table, shattering the glass, leaving just this small ring of bronze. This is what you should take with you.
All right.
She places it on the table.
I have a ring of bronze with nothing in the center.
Yeah, there's you have to be careful to cut your finger against a piece of the broken glass that's still on it.
Okay, cool.
How much will you offer for it?
100 platinum.
$100 platinum in your name. I wrote mine on the tent outside. I believe it is fair.
It's Minnie Callister.
She gives a polite nod.
Okay.
And wait, she doesn't offer her hand, but she waits for you to place a pouch of platinum on her counter.
I spent all my platinum.
Looks like you're going to need to learn how to use a shield, as meaning.
Yeah.
Consider spending some downtime on
I
that.
spent 1,000 gold on a shield and I don't know what it does.
You don't.
You
It's
don't have
also
to use
currently a bronze. It's currently a bronze like circle that you don't know how it works or what it does, if anything.
Here's the thing, I didn't want to lowball her.
Can you
because-
wear it as like a bracelet?
I am not joking when I say it's exactly the number I was going to offer you. So you're great.
Really?
Yes.
I did
You
it.
did.
Market price, nice.
Market price.
I see you have many stones around
I
here.
also need some mouth moss.
Of course. My treat.
I think
Please.
it's becoming a problem.
No, mouth moss.
Do you like
like-
flavored
it's
mouth?
like-
We have mango mouth moss.
It's like fucking dip.
Wait, those are real in this universe?
Mangoes.
Is meanie
Come from
just
a-
dipping over
We
here?
we get them from the scuffle
Yeah. Mangoes are real.
in the King's
Um,
Playground.
Do you have a,
They,
do you have a
they
moss
don't
cup, too?
understand the point of mouth moss. It does whatever you want it to.
It's just good. It's enjoyable, and of course, it wards off something.
Yeah.
Now stones,
You have lots of stones. You wouldn't happen to have diamonds, would you?
a few, though not terribly fit. They don't have quite the luster for fine jewelry. Would that be fine?
Just needed to be able to cast Revivify. We tend to find ourselves in a few sticky situations.
I have a small collection I could part with. She steps aside and brings out this little, sort of like a rosewood long box. Opens it up and you can see there are 4 small diamonds in here. Each of these diamonds would be worth 100 gold pieces. She has 400 gold worth. She's willing to part with any amount of it. If you buy the box, or if you buy them all, I'll include the box.
I'll buy them all.
pushes it forward, takes your 400 gold, and you got 400 gold worth of diamonds.
And a nice box.
You also do have a nice little box.
I now need to learn how to use a shield as a wizard.
You also should later try to identify that or use Arcana on it.
I would like to buy a scroll of identify so I can just learn the spell in an hour and get this over with.
Now you're getting close to time where you're going to need to go pick up Jam.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to do here in the city?
I'd like to buy a pearl and a scroll of identify.
You want to buy a pearl?
I need a 100 gold pearl
Oh, perfect.
in order
yes.
to cast a spell.
I actually have my chart with me here.
Cool.
So it's a first level spell, correct?
Yes.
Components.
40. Do you know the price of the pearl?
100 gold pearl, right?
Yeah,
100,
100 gold.
145 gold in total is what you're going to be spending.
Okay.
Is that fine?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're able to get that accomplished. Look, she only would have had to have second level scrolls here, but identify is very common, especially amongst people like her. It's one of the service she offers is identifying things.
Right.
We can now cast Revivify when someone dies.
Once.
Keyword
I don't know
when.
if it would have
Okay,
worked on
but-
now.
If 2 people die,
Screwed.
The problem is you die.
If I die, y'all are screwed.
You're screwed.
I'm
Protect
screwed,
the
but
cleric.
also.
Well then,
Cool. It's a ritual.
you each maybe you have a couple more stops here in the city as you're making your way back towards the tournament grounds. Which, as you're arriving, you notice the dome itself is gone. The labyrinth no longer sitting in the center. Instead, you see that the field, few hundred feet wide in the center, still has all the stands around it, is now covered in thick grass. Some at points are even up to what would look like they could even be up to like neck height for some of you. But there are pockets of ruins, stone columns, discarded old warped bits of wood, and as the shape of an X crossing the entire field, wooden fences that rise up about 10 feet, dividing the arena into 4 distinct sections, only linked by the gates at the center of each of these fences.
Definitely fighting monsters.
Looking about you, you can see that some of the boxes are now empty, with large tarps that have been placed over with the fine banners of each kingdom covering them up. And you do see a pair of Eltian knights standing with Princess Josephine, who seems a bit relieved to see you, though her face is still quite... She's a little bit pale. There's something wrong like her face looks like something's wrong to a degree. Are we ready to return to camp?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we should do so with haste.
All right.
oh, okay.
Thank you again, sir. She nods over to one of the knights at her side, who, of course, gives a very polite bow and returns back upwards to go and meet with the king. It has been... Congratulations
Thank you.
on round 1.
Thank you.
Making your... I assuming you were heading back, kind of walking. And we're walking and talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
The princess is a bit more of a power walk than you're used to.
Are we going to talk about it when we get back?
The way back should be relatively quiet. Not many folks are... non-competitors and non-nobility are not supposed to be here anyway, so we should be left alone. There has been excellent news. As I'm sure you are aware, Lady Callister, your king, King Sigurd, has been unsuccessful at producing an heir to the Kingdom of Issel. And it appears that his council, the Sanctum, has determined what will happen next.
Oh. I get to find out what's happening next?
Yes.
That was out of character.
Oh. Good.
You
yeah.
remember how I've been asking you about
You've
the
been asking me
succession
for a year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah. I would come in with new ideas for how the succession should work.
He took the guidance of the Queen, as well as several other advisors from the Sanctum, The Sanctum shall continue. It shall be a strong bond of unity to unite the kingdoms of Gren. But no longer shall it unite the North, but the intent would be to unite as many of its peoples, if not all of them, under a shared alliance. Sigurd intends to remove his crown, taking his place, potentially, should he be selected by the Sanctum, to have one of its seats. Now, you know the Sanctum is a collection of these seats of a Council of Issel, but for example, in Gorbarim, the Dwarven kingdom to the west, its king, well, former king, sat as one of the seats of the Sanctum. The full power of his crown would be restored, and Gorbarim made once more into its own independent kingdom. Though, with the alliance of the Sanctum, would still work in harmony with the other members. This offer is being extended to the kingdom of Elts, to the south. And to secure that sort of alliance, there are arrangements being made to encourage the longevity of the alliance. Father has made some excellent accommodations for the possibilities, and the offers have been generous. You see, at this point, you guys are roughly getting towards the tent. I would like to get inside and be Jam and not Josephine for a moment, if that would be...
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
She rushes in, giving you a moment to yourselves if you'd like, as she begins trying to change out of dress and braids and fine jewelry and into a leather jerkin and pants.
Mm-hmm.
Splitting the kingdom of Issel.
Into just being the Sanctum of Issel. A council of rulers to unite the people.
Reinstating Gorbarim, possibly Chalcedonia, Thum's domain.
Gorthum is another. The Sanctum would expand its number of seats, though the final number has not yet been drafted. At this point, Jam kind of she returns back in like simpler clothes. The kingdom of Issel, Gorbarim, Gorthum, Elts, each of their kings would have a seat.
The Pax?
The Pax Peninsula would continue to retain its seat. The Grand Mayor of Darendal, once a new one is elected after the assassination of Shiraz.
The Roxy Empire?
Venser has not acquiesced to this offer quite yet.
Forget my knowledge of geography, but is not Elts like a yolk in the middle of an egg? You not...
Somewhat, yes. Though, there is nothing to say that the alliance between Issel and the Vorox would end, but King Venser... Well, King Venser is not necessarily keen on being seen as equivalent to the other kings on Gren. And of course, the Lord of Mun will, should she return, will receive her vote on the Sanctum.
That's Erica, right?
Yes.
Yes. She's on the moon.
There have been a number of potential suitors to help assist with this alliance who have been considered.
Brutal.
Mm.
They're very kind offers, the lot of them. I'm sorry, this day has been a sort of whirlwind.
Mm-hmm.
You've won the first round of the tournament, which is excellent. You've won so much glory, and know that my father, regardless of how the rest of the tournament goes, will of course be encouraging telling more of the nobility. The nobility of Elts will of course be looking for more service from the Defiant Smiles and she died in that tournament.
She did.
I tried to speak with her, but she said something about she's participating tomorrow alone.
What?
Some of the competitors are doing so because it's the last.
Elsa? Her mom?
Which mom?
Lady Arendral was here. Several of the Guardians came to greet and say hello to my father.
You saw Elsie, her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, prove something.
Let's psychologically analyze our friend while she's gone.
And my cousin Teresa, she sent me some grave news. Lord Sandros, Lord Hyattberry,
Mm-hmm.
he passed a few nights ago.
What?
Away from that town with the guy with the knight?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's...
He, from what she told me, he was refusing to eat. It was as if whatever illness befell him, it was like a hunger, and he... It's been a heavy day.
Sorry, I have to write down a page of notes.
Dope.
Ismini, I apologize. I realize that while you are, of course, faithful to the Kingdom of Issel, your loyalty is born beneath the Kingdom of Chalcedonia, beneath the rule of the elves. I mean this with no judgment.
I've always been a bit of a... to say my views do not align with everyone's views would be very much true. I believe that there is a lot of value in being a member of
The
Kingdom
monarch
Issel.
of Chalcedonia has confirmed themselves for one of the seats, and soon it is said that they will be leaving the Fuchsia Enclave.
Seventh in line. All right. Let's go, buddy.
You cannot go assassinate 6 people in line to crown your friend. You could do that. And you know the monarch is the ruler of Chalcedonia is relatively young and has been sort of kept away from the rest of the world. Their name not given to others until they are of age and fully trained and able to protect themselves.
Out of character. This is the child that
Yes.
Clella's previous character was protecting, right?
Yes. This is the
The purple cloth that...
Purple cloth. Great.
yes.
Woo! Lore.
Child from previous campaign grew up some.
Lore.
Yes. They're an elf. They're an elvish individual who's around in their 50s, and so they're still considered quite young. You wouldn't think of them as a child, but staying home until you're about a century is pretty common in elven society. You're old. You're old.
I am old.
I don't know why I want to do that. I'm so sorry for burdening you all with this. It's been hard, and
We're friends here. You can share your burdens.
Elle promised I would see her tomorrow.
Good.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be wed to someone in the north and we'll live closer. I could summer away over at the Callister home. I'm sorry. For those of you who know, I don't know if the mic is picking it up, but Coco is our little table familiar, our little Bichon is having she's having dreams and she's barking.
Yep.
She's very cute.
While Victoria's plotting murders in order to get Elle and Shia married.
I'm
I'm a matchmaker. I'll
Yeah.
make it happen.
Oh yeah. And you'll have the bloody bodies in your wake.
The Moon Mother
make
will
that
guide us
match
all
happen.
on the right path, Jam.
Would you like some
Don't
mouth
stress
balms?
too much about it.
Is it enlightening?
It's highly addictive.
Anyway?
Not addictive.
Oh my goodness. It's meanie.
You've had mouth
There are
moss.
healers in elves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now look at me.
You got older.
Oh.
You know what? We were in the same hat. Here's a bicycle. Have an inspiration.
He's also eating stones now.
Okay, so maybe the mouth moss has some unintended consequences. Were you eating stones before we met?
No, I wasn't.
So this is new. Okay, I'm sorry. Like we got distracted there for a second.
You all.
Let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
I appreciate that. Would it be wrong for me to go and have an ale at the mess hall?
Not at all.
I think, from what the guards told me about your brief imprisonment back home, there was a lot of consumption of alcohol. Did that help? Did it help?
It's temporary.
I could use temporary.
Let's go get some ale.
The princess stands and begins marching over towards the shared heroes mess, which is like this. It's that large sort of. It's not a tent because it's just sticks with a roof. I'm losing the word for what I'm trying to describe. If you've been to a flea market before, you see those sort
like
of
a canopy.
They're a canopy. Excellent, thank you. A little, like a canopy that's been placed over these rows of tables. You can see people are serving food and drink here. Would anyone like to join here for the evening?
Yes.
Fine.
Let's not go too hard though.
No.
I'm saying it out loud for myself, not for you guys.
The night is. You don't go too hard. There are points where you see an argument breaks out at another table. Silver-clad knights furious. You watch as a dwarven man, one of these runic knights, shatters the table with his hammer and begins cursing out in Dwarvish. One of the men who's sitting across the table, this sort of scrappy. You see like a yellow tabard on this one man. Some argument about the Queen of Issel. Some dishonorable statements were thrown around.
Anyone talking about what they think tomorrow's going to be?
That's a good question. Ooh, you do get some hints here. You do get one particularly good rumor, though you don't know if it's true. It is said that the Duchess, one of the Blades, the one who is retiring, and in fact will be replaced by this tournament, that she recently traveled to the island far to the northwest, known as Apexia. And having returned, a lot of people are speculating may have brought some oddities from that strange place. Now, you would know Apexia is a place filled with it's all sorts of stories of golden cities, massive beasts, dinosaurs, but also strange civilizations hostile to those who would come and try to trudge upon their land.
When are we going to Apexia?
Clella said never.
I guess once you've thwarted and gotten the person in power you want, I guess. Once you've killed a whole line of people.
I did not say I was going to actually kill a whole line of people.
Oh, okay.
I served the House of Summer first and foremost.
Yeah.
But you all hear more about...
I wouldn't go kill 6 of the House of Summer.
Fair enough.
2 things of note happen here that I have here for my dice roll, if you'd like. Oh, 3 actually, but one's just a rumor. You do hear a rumor that Vorun, the shield of the Empire, a dragon who protects the Vorax Empire, is going to be watching tomorrow's events. He supposedly stands over 30 feet tall with one giant red wing, the other lost to an assassination attempt. Scars on one side of his face.
Smiles and circles.
I'm sorry, you both went to ridiculous places. You said Sephiroth? He's a one-winged dragon. I guess, yeah, I did think
It's
Mr.
just
Same.
flies in circles.
I learned that reference really recently.
But you hear about how apparently this important Vorax noble and warrior is going to be here. He's kind of like a blade in a lot of ways, where he protects his brother, the Emperor.
Is he the older brother or the younger brother?
Very much younger. He's not technically a brother. They're both just family. It's
Oh.
more convenient term than using great. But 2 other big things of note happen. The first is that Aranel returned to the encampment. Curious if you could still receive that prayer under the nearly full moon tonight.
Of course.
Additionally, you see some interesting faces around the mess. You see Norn, this handsome, sort of dark-skinned dwarf, finally having removed their this large closed helm, sort of like a bucket helmet that they've been wearing. Very thick metal, dwarven forged, well made. You can see that looks like Norn is overseeing this sort of drinking contest between various members of the Ashen League. And despite the camaraderie and brazen display of alcohol abuse on display, that's not what catches your eye, Thorn. A woman meets your eyes several times over the course of the night. They're red, as are her scales, as this dragonborn stares at you, glittering under the torchlight. Her skin, or scales rather, pure rubies. She watches you with interest, smiling anytime she gets a clear view. She sits wreathed in fine silks, and you can see that near her there's an orcish man who, only appears to carry a dagger on one hip, smokes from this very long pipe, watching any who get too close to this woman. As she nods towards you, you hear the same voice once more. In your mind, hello again, child of the wind.
That was you?
It was. Is my mind so unfamiliar for you as to have forgotten it?
I'm having some stage fright here.
If you're not ready to speak, we do not have to. I'm so curious to hear the tale of why you're here.
Just kind of came with my friends, was invited.
Are you doing this? You're still going to be across the area? I must ask, as is tradition, which side of the mountain do you come from?
The left.
You see this ruby dragonborn again. This sort of she's not as stocky as many of the dragonborn you've seen. You've seen that her neck is slightly longer than what you're used to seeing from a red dragonborn, or normally very muscular. She sits with all of her features are slightly stretched. Her jaw angular. She traces the lip of a wine glass, a slight hum in the air as she sits, thinking to herself. But she's certainly confused by your response.
That was a joke.
Make me a charisma check. Just a raw charisma check real quick.
16.
16? A small laugh runs through your mind.
Yes.
It is such a curious place, this Gren, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the people, they're so vibrant. So many colors and hearts. They may indulge themselves in these games, but they certainly do know about revelry. Much less grim than back home.
True. Home's where family is, though. What's left of them.
You watch as she speaks briefly to the orc at her side, who nods, reaches down and picks up what looks to be some sort of bag, like a leather pouch, hardened leather, something thick and protective, and begins walking around closer towards you. Yes, that which remains. The orc arriving at your table. Again, Thorn has said nothing to the two of you. We've got Mai over here who's like hand in the air, water in the other hand, pouring it over Aranel, doing this whole prayer ritual at the bar.
Yep. I'm sitting there like...
As an orc pulls out a large bottle of Caldish wine. Incredibly good. Like this incredibly expensive wine. Uncorks it, cures here a pewter glass and places it down and pours you a glass. The man grunts at you, nods, and walks back over to apparently his superior in some way.
I think he's hitting on me.
Did you fall here in battle, or were you in one of the homes that shattered?
What do you mean?
When you came here to this place, was it when you were clashing against the others, or how did you arrive here?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm from Dunsmith, born and raised.
I need you to do me a favor and make me a wisdom saving throw. I'm going to try to delve further. This gem dragonborn just looking at you.
9.
You're broken.
Well, I'm told it's because I'm not educated, but
You start feeling that presence within you stirring, uncomfortable, a little bit of fear kind of edging out here. Now you don't have the frightened condition. You choose how you feel about it, but you can feel this tension. It's sort of like if you watch a horror movie and you know you're supposed to be scared here. Like you can feel that blinders are on here, but no words. It's kind of feel like it's something is deadening it out. I've never met. You are quite curious, just like this place.
I keep hearing that. I'm a
Don't fall.
enigma of some kind. Who did you think I was? Or who do you think I am? Even if I'm a broken version.
How many fragments of gems have you found?
A few.
And you still live?
Who are you? How do you know so much?
I am Somna, of House Sarda. Are you putting him back together? At this point, she's like staring at you intently. Like this is intensely. She's turned, looking at you. You must understand, flesh thing, that you should not exist.
It's a little hurtful.
No, I mean nothing harmful. I had thought you were one of my kin.
What kin is this?
She leans back and you see she kind of gestures towards herself of this ruby feminine form. Her scales are made of rubies. She's a glittering humanoid sized creature. You're from this world, yet have our minds. You're putting together.
What world are you from?
How did you get your powers? When did you first see into a mind? Who made this possible? Victoria and Amanda, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. We'll break it out to people. If you want to talk, you can walk. She can't multi-talk. There are people who've borne fragments of my kin before, but this shouldn't be possible from that. You shouldn't be able to bear more than one.
Are you one of them that attacked my town? Are you in disguise?
You have my voice laid bare. I am what you see before you. I had thought you were something
You're not the
greater
first
than me.
to speak in my mind.
No. But you dealt with that shard bearer, didn't you?
I'm not talking about the shard bearer.
Do you want to make another wisdom save? You can feel this. She's not being subtle as she's trying to peer into what you're thinking.
13.
13. These creatures are not known to me. They're vile. You see this woman repulsion on her face. She sounds and seems repulsed by what this is. Where are you from? Outside of this tournament.
I'm from Dunsmith.
This name doesn't mean anything to me.
It's a small town, close to Eltz. Now decimated.
Will you be returning to Eltz?
Yes.
She sips more from her wine. I will wish to speak to you again, Child of Wind. Or I suppose... Thorn?
True.
I must retire. She stands, you see the orc next to her standing with her and begins walking further into the encampment. I'm gonna leave you guys to that, actually.
Yeah, I'm probably just like sweating at this point and just kind of like
I've been
staring
just
off.
like commiserating with Jam.
I've been doing a ritual.
Yes.
I saw the
Blessings.
weird eye contact thing going on, and I just thought you were trying to like send vibes across the room.
Let's see. It's about this point because that conversation wasn't super long. It was it was only a couple of minutes, but you catch as she stands up a ruby dragonborn, which again, not a thing you've seen before. You've only seen an emerald dragonborn once, and it was inside the painter.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'm marking this one down because now I'm suspicious because the last time we saw one, the first time we saw one, strange situation. I think I'm right. I think I'm right.
As you complete your ritual here, RNL feels at peace. You see him holding his hands tightly against his arms, which have beads of sweat just rolling down them as he's in this sort of finally feeling united, but his face falls slightly. I had missed this. Well, I sadly do not feel the magical connection. I'm reminded so much of home, and I must thank you, Mai.
It was no problem.
You asked if I had heard of others.
Mm-hmm.
There is one in this event who I spoke to on the road. A small goblin. His name is Mitnet, and he's one of their shamans from the northern plains. He says that their god, the High Chieftain, has no longer responded to their calls. I hope that can help you.
It does. Thank you.
Thank you all. And with this, he's going to step away. Now, I believe, unless you guys have something you want to, I don't want to cut you guys off if you have RP for each other right now. We'll take our little break here, fill up some water, let people at home go take a quick pee break, and then we'll be right back to start round 2.
Be right back.
Connor, what's up with your character?
I don't know.
What is going on with your character? Is he
I don't
gonna
know.
die?
I know.
I don't think so. Do you see any like growths on me? Do I have
It's not a
cancer?
tumor.
Any-
Thank you. All right. You make your way eventually back to your large tent. Remember that you have quite comfortable digs. You're in this oversized red tent with hanging pieces of canvas and linen that separate out, giving the princess her own larger but private space in the back section. There are Eltsian soldiers who still patrol on the outside at night, so you're fairly confident and protected. Additionally, you also have several alarms that have been set up by Ismini, redundant as well. And finally, the actual section of the encampment you're in is for nobility, and most tents have 1 or 2 warriors protecting them already. So it's a pretty safe place to be in the evenings. You do anything before you retire here tonight? We talking at all? You want to share? You want to share what happened to you? It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll say I think I found someone that's kind of like me.
Really?
Kind of
Yeah.
like you, how? As in they eat stones, or
They're made of stone. Did you see the ruby dragon?
I
born?
saw you making googly eyes, yeah.
Yeah, she was giving me the eyes. You know.
She shared her wine.
Yeah, and then she kind of got scared or weirded out. I don't know. I guess I have that vibe. And then yeah, I guess she could do the mind thingies that I do, and she thought she recognized me or knew who I was, but then she said I was broken, which I mean I guess is not wrong, but
It's rude.
it's kind of rude.
Yeah.
a little?
Yeah.
A
I would
little
agree with
rude,
that
Yeah.
assessment.
So she said she's gonna try to see me in Elt, so I guess you'll meet her.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever met anybody else that could do what you do?
I've met other creatures that could do, and Zerathal could do the mind thing.
Yeah. I mean, there are ways of doing.
Painter also. He had the gem, and he was doing
Yeah.
weird mind thing.
Yeah.
Is she calling me the child of the wind?
I don't think that
I think
rings
she
a
knows
bell
about
for
my-
me.
That doesn't ring a bell for me.
I think she was
either.
making fun of me.
No, something tells me
Yeah.
that probably wasn't making fun of you, but I have no idea what it would actually mean.
Me either.
I'm so sorry to eavesdrop. You said you've known other people to do this besides people with your stones?
No, well, creatures that could talk in your mind.
Like ghosts?
No, they look like. Have you had like calamari? You know the squids. They look kind of like squid people.
Have you met an aboleth?
Can I try to roll for this one?
No.
Yes, this would be an Arcana or History check. Different.
I mean, it
information.
might be an aboleth. I don't know.
They're sea creatures, 50 feet long, and they're dark forces, not to be reckoned with.
I mean, I wasn't anywhere near the sea, but maybe it was like passing through. I don't know.
13.
A 13. You're thinking of squid creatures.
Yeah.
I will say this: you've not studied, but you would know the vague idea of something known as an illithid or mind flayer, mental squid-like creatures. What you know? Here's what you know.
I relay what I know.
Super dangerous,
Okay.
mental weird powers which aren't well understood. People don't understand psionics. They don't understand what that works. But you know the word psionic from this because you've interacted with Thorn. Eat brains.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's one thing that doesn't have the jimmies that is bad and does the mind thingy, and
Should avoid at all costs.
they're very convincing, I guess, because Deadsmith isn't really a thing anymore.
Or just very, very, very dangerous.
I don't know. People were just walking up to them.
That's weird. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Do you... I'm at a loss.
What do you mean they were walking up to them?
It's like they were like calling them, beckoning them, and people were just mindlessly walking up to them.
SAT words.
And then what happened?
They ate their brains.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's...
Yeah.
My father must know about this.
Don't send anyone there. It's bad.
I had heard there had been something about patrols had been had been avoiding the location, but I had assumed it was some sort of border dispute, or the Lord there had. So the people are gone.
Last I remember, yeah.
Then why are we at a tournament?
Bad things happen all the time, and can't control it. People want to celebrate the good.
The nihilistic.
Never would have guessed Amanda
Cleric.
or mine. Amazing.
Ooh.
Honestly, for getting me so good. Here you go. Amanda, you take that inspiration.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it might be something to look into when we get back, but
You would have my full support.
I'd prefer not to go. But I understand why we need to go.
We dealt with the dragon.
If you don't,
They're scared
I
of a
have-
dragon.
Knowing this, I have to send someone when we leave from the Runehold.
Okay, well then I need to go then.
You have my ear, and I have my father's. I will make sure if you were there, and I do trust you, Laurentius. I will make sure that you are able to make decisions involving this. I'm sorry.
You won't go alone, Thorn. You'll have us with you too.
Okay. I just don't want you guys to lose your brains. I'm kind of on my way out.
I have
so
some questions for you, actually. In your childhood, did you like to do any common childhood activities? Play with blocks, play a game with a ball, read books?
Eat rocks?
No?
Okay.
I mostly, from what I remember from my childhood, I mostly just remember kind of being with my dad.
Yeah.
Vaguely remember my mother,
Do you
but
remember-
more just like the idea of her, not necessarily.
Remember reading any books?
No.
Couldn't read.
No, no, I'm suspicious.
My dad would tell me stories at night, but I didn't.
Ask your question specifically, and I'm happy to maybe have dice rolls happen.
Did he did he lose intelligence after the encounter with these creatures? Was he more of like an average Joe?
I would like to.
I'm so curious.
Are
I'm
you
a bottom
thinking
line.
about this, or were you willing to use your powers and try to focus on yourself? It's your decision. Are you just trying to recall, or are you trying to actively pull?
I'll try pulling.
I need you to make me. Essentially, I'm having you make me a charisma check using your, this power, this unnatural powers that you've been gifted.
Not very good. 10.
Trying to pry deeply. You take 6 points of psychic damage.
Ouch.
That's like 3.
Yeah, you're resistant to psychic damage. You try to kind of shake your head with this high-pitched buzzing. You gave yourself a headache by thinking too hard.
So sad. This is just hurting my brain. I think it's my brain.
You also are very hungry.
Got a lot of shit. Does anybody have like a spare turkey laying around?
Yes, I stuck one in my purse next to my wand.
Oh my gosh, it's Meanie. When did you get that nice purse?
I always had a nice purse that I carried my wand in. I don't carry my wand in my hand like some sort of degenerate.
Just walking around with a
You got it
loaded
with
gun.
Pluvia.
You did get it from Pluvia.
Yeah, we like our little clutches to put our wands in. How to be a wizard in polite society.
I don't remember much of my childhood. Like I'm having trouble recalling.
Okay. We may perform this exercise again. I'm very curious.
I don't know if I want to do this exercise. It hurts.
No, not right now,
Okay.
but someday.
Okay.
Once more, there's a discomfort from the presence in the back of your mind. The entity from the emeralds seems... It didn't enjoy that experience either.
Cool.
Like it hurt it just like it hurt you.
You ever feel like there's like 2 things in your brain? Does that make sense?
Well, like an internal dialogue where I say, I really should go for a walk in the gardens today.
Yeah.
And then,
But you're thinking that, but then at the same time, there's also something else.
yeah, and then I think, but I don't want to go for a walk. It was rainy yesterday and there's going to be puddles.
No. At the same time, you're thinking about going for your walk. There's something else saying, like, I don't know, you're hungry?
Another voice that's not yours.
Is it your own internal voice? that you
No, it's a
think
totally
of?
different voice. Do you guys have that?
No.
Thorn has never mentioned he had a second voice in his heart.
That's
No.
extremely concerning, actually.
Most people
Oh.
don't have 2 voices in their head.
Your possession alarm bells are going off.
I know, now I want to give a once over. Take this mouth moss.
I take the
You got the mango.
If you're possessed, the mouth moss will
It's
change,
illegal in the Vorax Empire.
will change colors. I gave them the moss whenever we went into that apartment complex.
With the
they
ghosts,
all.
yeah.
With
No,
the
no, the
ghosts.
mango moss specifically is illegal in
Oh, okay.
in the Vorax Empire.
But just the moss will change colors if you're possessed.
All right, I'll do the moss thing.
The moss probably doesn't actually change colors if you're possessed. I just believe the moss can cure anything.
The moss is really yummy, though. It does, however, afterwards leave a portion of your jaw entirely numbed, and you're like, you're a little bit of happening ever so briefly.
We sent Gwynwyn's body away with
This
moss
is the
in her mouth.
mango. I
Okay,
told you
but
it's
we
not
originally
legal.
sent Gwynwyn's body away with the rest of my moss
Yeah.
in her mouth.
My mother was very confused.
Yeah, I bet. Like, okay, this is bizarre.
but-
What's going on in else?
Okay, so give me an Arcana check as you're trying to go over and look for signs of possession.
A natural 1.
I feel fine. I don't.
There's nothing obvious or apparent.
Yeah,
And
it'd be a-
you're honestly
it'd be a
you're
10.
getting tired because it's late and you know you have an early morning.
Yeah.
We can circle back to this.
We can circle back to your possession.
This sounds like
I'm not
something we
pos-
need
I
to
don't
talk
think I'm possessed,
talk
guys.
about.
I did get cursed by that like ghost thing, but it just made me a little wrinkly. It's fine.
One day I'll be able to fix that.
Okay, cool.
You have so much money.
Yeah, that's just I'm like a more of a silver fox now, so like I'm fine with it. Yeah.
It only aged you a little bit.
I wear it well.
Yeah, if you were me, though, you'd be rushing to go get it undone.
That's true.
Yeah,
Great.
we're all gonna go to bed.
Good night.
Well, good night.
Night
I'm not
blessings.
possessed.
You
By
sure?
the way.
Oh, no, my
pretty
default
sure.
assumption is that you're possessed.
If you're possessed, you have to tell us.
I'm not possessed.
You're gonna kill one of
Thorn?
us. You have to tell us.
You're not supposed to have another voice inside you. If it tells you to do bad things, you have to tell it no.
It usually it doesn't tell me anything bad. It just says like hungry, eat. It's kind of stuff like that. I think it's honestly just my stomach talking to me.
Eat what? What does it want you to eat?
Things
Like rocks?
Like the rocks?
that makes things sound good.
So you have a highly persuasive voice in your head telling you to eat inanimate objects that are non-edible.
Well, it's just the stones, and then like
I'll leave you
Yeah.
to this.
Smart idea.
anyway, let's probably go to bed. I guess.
We'll address at a different day the fact that you're obviously possessed, because again, my default assumption is possession.
Yeah.
You are an anti-outsiders wizard.
I will
Right.
pray to the Moon Mother about guidance for you.
And I will go look for some very sharp
know what she
sticks.
Homegirl goes and does a special dance underneath the moonlight.
Tell her I say
I look for sticks to stab him with.
You start consulting your tomes and stuff.
Yeah, various types of sticks of various types of wood sharpened in various ways, stabbed into the body, may drive out whatever's possessing you.
Also, you might die, but
Also, you might die, but it is worth it for the
Or you
greater
get
good.
like a nasty infection from a splinter. You would,
I probably would.
because you're playing with sticks.
I'm playing with sticks. I have gloves. They're silk. And I also have snakeskin gloves. They're for magic.
your rest tonight is deep. Some of you weren't necessarily as aware of how hurt you are. This tournament, the challenges, well, not life-threatening. Well, you're protected from that. Are incredibly hard. You saw that from originally there were over 2,000 people participating. The prelims bringing that down to like 1,200. With this, a little over 400 people remain in the Tournament of Blades. This next event supposedly will eliminate half of the remaining people in the tournament. You awaken in the morning. Elle still nowhere to be seen. The morning is quiet as you're strapping up your boots, getting your armor on, making sure your wand has no splinters hanging off to the side. Wand polish. Saying your morning prayers and finding your morning bacon.
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 See, it's that second thing talking to me. Hungry. Bacon.
Hunger.
No one can hear the voice though. It's hunger. It's very angry sometimes.
Feed me.
Feed
Feed me.
Let's see more. With the rights.
Show.
Is there anything we're doing this morning? You can see that a bunch of the participants are kind of gathering around in the center of camp before marching over. You guys have about half an hour before it starts. You're going to be drawing lots to see who goes first because you've been told that 4 teams can go at a time.
What are we doing?
I'm asking if you're doing anything before you, or if you want to just head out. It's okay either way.
I said just head out.
I don't have anything. It's the morning of.
Yeah.
We had our fun.
Yeah.
We found out Thorn's possessed.
Do a
Got our potions.
quick little stretch. Maybe have my morning deuce and then go fight some stuff.
All right, you drop a load while Ismini escorts the
Yeah,
princess off
guys.
to... Huh? Ismini, you escort the princess to her seating. She's taken to a high box, and you see once more, now the new battlefield has been completed. This large field with jutting out pillars of strange these strange carved bits of ruined structures. It looks like some sort of... It looks very strange. It's atypical. It doesn't look like construction you've seen before. It doesn't immediately jump out as Varuxi or Dwarven or anything like that. You're not familiar immediately. Your friends eventually gather, the 3 of you, and Ralnor, all preparing yourself for the day's games. As the crowd is filling out, even though people aren't shouting and screaming yet, just the din of people chatting it's really quite impressive how much it grows and crescendos together. Sorry, this song is always very fun to me. It is at this point that a pair of women are standing in the center of this X, of the 2 wooden walls, essentially, that have been set up. Their walls are about 10 feet tall, wide enough for 2 men to walk on their sides, and have an occasional, these little, kind of like a tower's turret, a little platform that some people are seated at to look closer, to lean over and watch at the day's events. There's some real prime seating in the arena here. But standing at the center are 2 women, a human with a fine dress and a wooden yew bow that is at her side, and the other is a red-haired dwarf in this brilliantly made bronze armor with a trio of gems, a ruby, a sapphire, and an emerald emblazoned at the front, surrounded by diamonds, a sigil of a dwarven god blazoned on her chest. As the taller of the 2, this human woman speaks, her voice resonates outward, some sorcery allowing her to speak over the audience. Welcome, people of the many kingdoms of Gren and beyond, heroes, champions, and those looking for a fair bit of coin. Should you wish to find victory in my challenge today, or in Fregar's after, you must be brave, powerful, and you must protect your own. For unlike Archmage Starblood's event, you either all shall pass, or none of you shall. As Fregar and I did at the Battle of Nerphos, so too will we cut down half of you on this day. I have brought you oddities from a distant land. She begins pacing. Fregar kind of shakes her head slightly. The tribes of the Yuan-Ti litter the coasts of Apexia, and their strange rulers have many faces. Also brought along a few of their pets, and I hope to see you all do well against them.
It's a Yuan-Ti.
People.
Oh, okay.
Snake
people.
people. There's people.
There's people.
Sneeple. Snake
Anyway,
people.
we can talk with one of them and see if they know what Brownor is. That's strange pets.
I don't speak Parseltongue. Stupid.
The lots are drawn, and the Defiant Smiles will be among the first quartet to do battle.
Well, shit.
You can nap the rest of the day.
Yeah.
You do. You'll have the whole day about you. This event itself will only last a few minutes. First, you shall face what I have brought, and for the latter half, one of the 2 gates adjacent to your portion of the arena shall open, and you shall face those on the other side. Perhaps the gods will bless you, and they shall already have fallen. Or perhaps you'll clash steel against a future blade of Issel.
That's kind of cool.
Good luck to each and every one of you. I look forward to meeting my replacement. She takes a step back, and the dwarven woman steps forward. She looks over the audience, gazing over the field of champions and warriors ready to do battle. You hear cheers over from a dwarven section on the far side of the stadium, crying out for this woman. Oh, my stomach. Her stomach growls loudly. She pulls a sword off of her back, places it at the top of this wooden post where she stabs it into the ground. And as she does, you watch as it sparks, igniting a small portion of wood in front of her until it reaches the edge of the wooden fence. It begins spreading outwards, wider and wider, igniting the top, sort of like where barbed wire would be on this fence, igniting the top of it, but not the walkway itself, giving this wall of flame protecting these different sections. All right, begin. Be quick about it. Frhagar, this blade, turns and takes her seat. You are brought about towards one of your corners, given one of your quadrants here, given the option of selecting where you start here in the battle. Let's bring the battle map up here, Alex, 'cause I want to know where you'd like to be placed before I put down your opponents, because they have yet to have been released.
I'm happy being on a box.
I'm happy where I am.
You're happy where you are?
Yeah.
You just wanted to start here?
I would like if you can move Squawk over to where Mai is. Just
Squawk by
so,
Mai?
just because Squawk's movement.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Squawk has good movement. 50 feet, whatever.
Yeah.
I always think 30 for some reason. That doesn't make sense.
You notice there is a small well on the far side, though, as meaning from where you are, you can't help but notice the well is filled with a thick Icarus red liquid.
I don't like that.
There's some warped wood on the eastern side of the battlefield, several stone pillars of various integrities. As you enter and wait, you hear off in the distance a loud ringing like a bell or a gong has been struck by something. As several creatures begin emerging from the ground below, as if buried beneath this light bit of dirt and grass. I'm gonna need you all to roll for initiative. You watch as first a man, though his limbs appear to be armored by blue scales. No, his limbs themselves are 2 massive snakes. At his side is a large monitor lizard, this huge beastie that rears up, hissing out forwards, this kind of gross cry as it emerges, this sickly spittle flying out from its mouth.
On second thought, maybe we shouldn't go to Apex yet.
Next, you watch as one of the structures crumbles at the far side here, as a massive, strange creature with blue teal scales and a trio of large horns jutting out begins rushing towards the party. Reminds you quite a bit.
That's
yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I want to remind you that I have polymorph and you've now shown me a Triceratops. Round 2, baby.
Round 2,
Go.
yes. As it emerges, it does immediately, those of you who might not be familiar with what it is, it reminds you of an elephant, which you have seen. Similar sort of legs, although it's scaled like a lizard or dragon. And then finally, emerging further to the north is a strange creature. It looks like a six-headed snake with long, sinewy arms. It's got, it's almost like it's got white scales along its arms that are smooth, almost looking like skin. Its fingers barbed and dagger-like, these long, thin sort of things. Looks very much lethal. Let's start those initiatives. Ooh. Laurentius Thorn.
15.
15 for Thorn. Mai?
16.
Nice. Is Meanie?
Math 20 for Raunor, 12 for his meanie.
Wow.
Nice.
We have a 14, a 15, a 12, a 14, a 15, and a 16. Good job, guys. Okay. Unfortunately, the Yuan-Ti Elder Abomination has the drop. It is going to start pretty simply. It's going to move half its speed. And I'm going to go ahead and start this by asking for a wisdom saving throw from all of the party, including Squawk and Raunor. This is versus Frightened for those of you who are unsure. As it comes up closer to you, you watch as it is 6 cobra-like heads open their these sort of
Is this
fins.
a charm condition?
It's not charm. It's
Okay.
only Frightened here. As it hisses out towards you, expanding its arms wide, it is then going to move back a space, giving itself a little bit more room to work with. But you can see it looks like its arms are quite long. This creature probably has reach. How'd you do?
All three of us got 19s.
Wow.
All 3 of you pass. You feel the spell fear coming through here. And you,
Oh, you mean Squawk and...
Squawk and Raunor and
Squawk
I
and
all
Okay, I was
got...
like,
You
we didn't
all
get that.
no,
passed.
we all of us with the rolls plus
Thorn.
modifiers.
I got a 5.
Thorn, you are frightened.
Sick.
You see this thing, and you're just maybe we should. You mutter to your friends, maybe we shouldn't go to Apexia, and you watch this nightmare beast emerge from the dirt, and like you see it spits venom, which hits the ground with a hiss on the ground, almost burning through some of the grass here. You see this creature as when you're frightened. A couple of things. The big thing, you cannot move closer to it, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks while you can see it. That is
Cool,
going.
so
That was going to be it for its turn. We're going to go Raunor
I
and then
rolled
mine.
12.
That makes sense.
Is that? Am I also frightened?
You rolled a 12. You are
Yes.
also frightened.
Okay.
You see this creature. This is an affront against the moon.
That's while I
Raunor
can
and then
see
mine.
them?
Huh?
That's while I can see them?
Yes. All. Additionally, there might be more things about that site that you don't know yet. But those are the big things of the frightened condition. Raunor is going to charge up forward.
Can't quite get there. So he's gonna.
Is he dodging, or is he holding an action, or is he
he
dashing?
is going to dodge.
Dodge. Raunor gets up there. He gets into a defensive position.
Yeah.
You watch as he claws through. He actually hits against this little pillar, and you watch as the pillar wiggles ever so slightly. Doesn't look like it's fully seated in the ground anymore. That's it for Raunor. We're going to Mai, then Thor.
I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt at the one that the snake hand person.
Okay, you can do that, but because you can see this creature, you have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay.
You fire out at the Yuan-Ti Abomination.
That's only an 11.
There's a malice on an 11.
Yeah.
You actually see this creature reacts a bit slow. It looks like it's quite burly. The snake's tugging it one direction or another. You just barely missed it.
Okay.
You can tell this is not a very. It's a pretty slow sort of creature, and unfortunately, you just get kind of freaked out as you hear the hissing once more and miss this ever so slightly. Any movement, Amanda, or are you good?
I'm good where I am.
All right, then we're gonna continue over to Thorn.
I'm gonna cast Hunger of Hadar on this guy.
Okay. All right. Targeting the abomination.
It's 20-foot radius, so it's just going to be like...
Does it have to target a creature or does it target a space?
Targets...
I'm asking in case you wanted to hit that and the Triceratops. I don't know for sure.
Yes, 20-foot radius. Blinds all within. Blinds all while in, and just started... Okay, yeah. So it's 20-foot radius.
Do you? So you want to... Oh, 20-foot radius would just barely be out of these.
Right.
Well, you can put it... You can. So yeah, you can center it on him and it'll have to come through.
I want to center it on, yeah.
Perfect. Centered on this creature. So inky black tendrils appearing through here. I think there's a sound effect to it as well.
Slurping.
There's slurping, and you can't help but hear this cacophonous wind as you cast Hunger of Hadar, reaching out, allowing the presence to kind of take over here as you create this horrifying effect.
Okay.
You no longer... You don't... So while the condition is just... The frightened condition is only suppressed, you still must make your save, which happens now because you're out of line of sight of the creature. The end of your turn, if you're out of line of sight...
8.
8 is still a fail. So you are still considered frightened, but it has no effect unless you can see it.
Okay, and then the start of its turn, it will take the damage.
Okay, you'll remind me when that happens,
Yep.
okay? Anything else in your turn, Thorn? Movement? Bonus actions?
Bonus action. Does Ralnar want to be closer?
It doesn't matter. They're gonna come to him.
Okay. Then I'm...
It's clever. You can do that to allies?
Yeah, I can just shove a creature.
It's amazing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm
Yeah, I
worried
wanna
that your
get over
magical shove won't work on Malor.
I want to get over here.
Awesome. You go over taking some cover behind, looks like this rotted out wood, which isn't very helpful, but then also a stone wall.
Yeah.
So your cover's pretty decent here. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and continue. It is now the Yuan-Ti Beastmaster and his creature. Having this wild lizard-like creature emerging at him, he's actually going to immediately move forward to attack Ralnor.
Ralnor has dodged, as a reminder.
Ralnor has dodged. As against all attack rolls, and I was going to make several. So you watch as the creature itself tries to bite with his big maw, super misses, natural 3. And he goes forward with these 2 serpent-like arms and chink chink tries to sink his teeth. You watch as one of them definitely sinks into Ralnor, but as he pulls back, you see blood spurting from his mouth as one of the fangs shatters off to the side. That is a natural 4. Natural 20 is the higher die, so it doesn't count. Does a 16 hit Ralnor?
Yep.
No, it does not. So you watch as the 3 of them, or the 2 of them, are just trying to attack Ralnor, not able to get through there. The dodge action really paid off there. That is then going to be Ismini's turn.
Triceratops time.
You'll need to move to see it because there's a huge orb. Just even 1 square would be fine.
Okay, cool.
Just to see past it.
Cool.
What are you doing to my dinosaur, huh? Dinosaurs are cool. They're friends, not food. I would eat dinosaur.
Giant meat.
Tastes like
It'd
chicken.
probably be really... Triceratops would be a decent dinosaur to eat. It's a
bonus
herbivore.
action hex. Action.
What's the range on a hex? I thought it was a short range spell.
90 feet, I think.
Oh, okay. My apologies then.
90 feet.
Great, you're fine. My
And
apologies.
then chill touch, which is 120 feet.
Sweet. It has no cover here. Make your attack roll. You learn immediately this thing is very easy to hit.
14.
You barely hit, actually, but
Yeah. That'll be a
you rolled poorly.
I did roll a 5 or 4. 5. 7. 13 points of necrotic damage. It cannot heal.
13 points of damage. All of this seems totally effective.
Cool.
Striking against it. Is that it for your turn, Ismi? Or you
That is it.
stay in there?
Yeah.
Anything
Okay.
for Squawk? Fly him at a person will help action whoever he's flying near. It's simple that way.
Mai is gonna get help. Cool.
Who is he? No, pick a bad guy.
Oh, he's gonna circle the Triceratops because he can fly high enough that he probably won't get killed immediately.
Sure. Flies over to that Triceratops and begins buzzing around, ready to dive to try to distract it when ready. This is going to be the Elder Abomination's turn. Thorn, what happens to me? Do I have to make a save?
At the end of your turn, you will if you stay there. But at the start, you take 2d6 cold damage.
I don't like cold damage. Cold damage is effective against me.
7 total.
7 damage. You hear a creature hisses out, and you feel the hairs on your edge, the edge of your neck, the back of your neck, just stick up when you hear its hissing as it emerges. It's going.
Yeah.
It's not difficult terrain, is it?
No, I don't believe so.
Well, I'm
I
gonna.
just can't see.
I'm gonna pop out of it. Ooh, Thorn, you're right there though. You know what? I'm gonna move difficult terrain using a bunch of movement to get into this space. The creature emerges from your spell here, and is going to begin its attacks. You watch as one of its hands begins forming arcane sigils in the air as it begins casting a spell. Just marking just in case as Meanie had anything to say about that.
I'm going to go ahead and just counterspell. Level
Level
3.
That breaks the spell. You watch as you broke the spell suggestion.
Great. That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Seemed like it was about to break something out. It was translating itself. However, it is then going to make 2 melee attacks. It's going to make 1 bite with one of these heads. The other one's going to be a claw attack.
Okay.
The bite, natural 20,
Yeah,
and
that'll
the
hit.
claw is a math 20.
Those will both hit. Can't stop. Actually, I'll shield the second one. Sorry.
All right, so you don't take the claw attack, just the bite. So it is going to be. It's going to be 10 points of piercing, and 15 points of poison.
Ow.
I rolled on these d6s 6, 6, 5, 4.
Ouch.
But the abomination uses its full turn, all of its attacks, and tries to cast a spell on you. This meanie stops it, but you begin hearing at the start of it, "Your friends, we're your friends." But you shake off the spell as this meanie breaks it. That is going to be Rowlnor and then Mai.
Ralnor is going to pick on somebody his size and fight the monitor lizard.
You're gonna fight the lizard?
Bite, claw, horn.
Clawhorn.
Oh, I love Victoria does exactly what I love to see. She rolls all the damage with magic
13,
dice.
16, 21.
13, 16, 21 all hit.
Great. That'll be
Some good damage.
plus whatever it is plus 18 is going to be 8 plus 10 at 18 plus 18 is what?
36,
Plus 7.
43.
Yeah.
Great. 43.
43, this creature's beyond bloodied. Rowlnor
Damn, Ralph.
freaks out. He's, okay, I'll admit, second favorite voice to do in the entire campaign is Rowlnor.
Oh, no.
Adon is the
I
first.
rolled max damage on 2 of the 3.
Yeah,
Nice.
this was Rowlnor's very good turn.
Yeah.
Rowlnor
Yeah.
leaps forward, and you watch as he does. He finds one of the spines on the back of this lizard and fully rips off one of the spines. Begins clawing at this creature. They're just full wrestling. These two large creatures. Rowlnor, you've fought monsters like this lizard before. Rowlnor's bigger than this lizard.
Thank you for giving Ralnor plus 10 to hit so that I don't have to do any math.
Oh yeah, plus 10 is the best plus for a while. Like 11, 12 is cool, but 10,
10
is
is
easy.
great for math purposes.
You have to roll. Rowlnor hits on 2, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oops.
Ralnor hit on a 3.
Yeah. That's it for Rowlnor, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's it for Ralnor.
And then it's gonna be my turn. Thorn, you're on deck.
Pulling down the Moon Mother's Blessing with Moonbeam on the weird thing I'm terrified of. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
I don't want to make a Constitution saving throw. You know what? I'm above a 20.
So you only take half damage, so 13, so 6 points of radiant damage.
6 point radiant damage. It doesn't seem to like that at all. It wasn't vulnerable, but it really didn't like that you did that to it. This creature itself turns to you. It's very clearly corporeal. This isn't like a ghost creature or anything. This is a real ass Sneeple. Yes?
When does the Triceratops go?
Triceratops went at initiative 1, which I missed. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, because
Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate it.
I hate to be the teacher's pet. But
No.
like,
No.
Can you imagine how if I put a dinosaur in a fight and we didn't play with the dinosaur?
yeah.
That would be really sad.
That'd be really sad. For Clella, everyone, right? For Clella?
Yeah.
For Clella. Okay. The Triceratops is going to.
Does he have to go through the Arms of Hadar section?
Yeah. We're gonna. Yeah, we're just gonna go here and then dodge. It begins charging, running forward. You see it's gaining
Is
speed.
that disadvantage on all attack rolls?
Huh?
Is that disadvantage on all attack rolls?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I was gonna make 3 of them.
I make it what save?
No save. Just 5 points of cooldown.
Ow! It doesn't like that. It continues to dislike the cold
If
damage.
it stays there, that's when it makes a save.
It's in there partially. It
Oh,
can
it ended its turn?
It ended its turn. Now I will say it can see because it's only like one of the squares, but it'll take the damage.
Okay, so it'll be a dex save then.
8. Not very dexterous.
Okay. For 6 more points of acid damage.
Acid damage. Really hates that. You watch as one of its legs lingers in it too long, pulls it out, freaked out. It does not seem that this Triceratops understands the concept of magic. It doesn't seem like an it seems like a beast to you.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't seem to know you did it, and it is definitely currently appears to be ready to charge. Oh, I put him 1 square too far forward, sorry. To charge at your friend Mai.
Got it.
Speaking of Mai, it's Mai's turn.
No, I just went with the moon.
We skipped the
Moonbeam.
Triceratops, so we went my
Oh,
Triceratops.
my apology. It's
Yeah.
Thorn's turn. I'm a bad person.
What spell do I want to go?
Thorn, this creature is right on top of you, so you are currently quite engaged.
And frightened.
You are frightened. You cannot willingly
have to-
move closer.
Okay, do I have to run away?
You could stay still or run away,
Okay.
but you just cannot move closer.
Um,
People are calling out cheers. You see a spout of flame burst from one of the nearby fences, like someone is doing some sort of. There's a pillar of flame that strikes from the sky at an opponent. You hear hissing from the far side.
go ahead and just make me a nice little dex save there
For the Malison?
for this.
Or the
this guy.
Abomination?
Yeah.
Cool. Ooh, that is a 19.
Damn, you pass, but you'll take half.
I'll take half. I'll take half all day.
I'm picking up a rock and throwing it at you. Catapult.
Catapult? Okay, shooting a rock at me. This catapult doesn't make an attack roll? That's so good.
So 12.
12 points of
bludgeoning damage.
That damage goes through. It's not resistant to non-magic damage.
Cool.
You strike it. Anything else on your turn?
Bonus action, shove it away from me.
Strength saving throw?
Yep.
Connor, you just put it back into the darkness.
Nice.
And you
now
can no
I will
longer
move
see it.
away. Just put me back over where Ismini is. I want to get away from it.
You want to get here?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Does he get to remake his save?
You do, because again, at the end of your turn, you don't see it.
10.
10 is a fail. It's not a high.
I roll
CC.
single digits every time I try to make the save.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, buddy.
Okay.
You know what? I'm so sorry. Let me make my concentration check. Okay. I was retroactively rolling because I did miss that. My apologies. Is the spell Fear? You're familiar with the spell it cast. We'll
Yes,
continue.
I have it.
Yeah, we'll continue on. It is going to then be the Yon T's turn over here. The Malison is going to move and provoke from Ralnor. However, I'm going to go ahead and, if you'd like, are you making your attack of opportunity with Ralnor?
Yes.
The Monitorless is going to use its reaction to attempt to. It's going to use its reaction to impart disadvantage on this attack roll. So you watch as it leaps over, trying to body block here with it.
14 to hit.
A 14 to hit still hits. So while he's trying to, the creature lunges forward, trying to protect its master. Ralnor gets, what was the attack? Bite?
It was chomp. That would be 11 points of damage.
Oh, 11 points of damage. That's a lot of damage.
A lot of damage.
But he's gonna keep on moving. And just begin sprinting up here. And you watch as one of the limbs, points towards your friend Ismini and spits this poison, lunging forward. Ismini, does a 9 hit you?
No.
It
What is he
spits
doing?
poison at you. You watch as this Icarus green goo flies right past you. But you are fine. The beast is then going to make an attack on Ralnor and miss. Continuing on, that will be Ismini and then the Triceratops. Saying it aloud for my benefit.
Can both the Triceratops and the Yonti Abomination thing make dexterity saving throws?
Why?
Fireball? That's what I was thinking.
Victoria? How big is fire? Is it a 20-foot radius?
20 foot radius. You hit everything.
Oh yeah.
You want to hit everything, including
Everything,
Ralnor?
including Ralnor, because Ralnor's
Immune to fire.
Okay.
immune to fire.
He's immune to fire.
I was
That's
just
a
thinking
good
about
friend.
doing that my next turn. I was like, wait, I
Good
could just
friends
cast-
don't take fire damage.
Yeah, or they have resistance.
And I'm gonna go ahead and use a sorcery point, I think,
What for?
to re-roll up to int number of dice. Reroll up to 5.
So you're really committing to this one, huh?
Yeah.
Monitor lizard
Nice.
fails. Triceratops. 17 is a pass for you, right?
Yeah.
17 is a pass. It meets.
Okay. Ceratops passes. I'm gonna use a legendary resistance on the Elder Abomination.
Okay.
And so fail on the little guys, successes on the big guys.
Okay.
33.
Okay.
Fireball.
33 on the 2 fails. You watch as okay, I'm gonna write all these numbers down. 33, 16, 16, 33.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things gonna happen. Ismini dodges spit as the Malison begins charging over towards the caster. Kind of, you see her huff, draw out her wand, and a bead of light flies out from it, like she's casting the light spell. One explosion later, you watch as one of these pillars near Ralnor falls to the ground. The monitor lizard burnt to a crisp. The Malison, beyond bloodied, on death's door. The Triceratops charges. And the Malison, you can't see, you just hear it, or the Abomination roars within the darkness because it's in pain. You did a lot of damage and defeated one of the enemies. Good attack there. Curious, how many of those rerolls did you end up using?
4.
4 of them? That's
3,
good.
3 1s and a 2.
That's awesome. Anything 1 through 3, you can always you can re-roll it better on average.
Yep.
Super good. Ismini, you want to stay where you are, or are you good? Or do you already?
I'm gonna step down a little bit, so that we're not in a nice little line for the thing to hit all 3 of us.
Like here.
That looks great.
Awesome. It is the Triceratops' turn. It is going to use Trampling Charge. It's going to go ahead and move 20 feet. I'm going to go ahead and hit me with cold damage.
Start. Yeah. 7 points of cold damage.
7 points of cold damage, and it looks actually pretty hurt by all of this. And I'll just let you know. The first is going to make a gore attack. It tries to strike you with its horns.
Yeah.
What do I do with there? My d20s?
I'm gonna warning flare that. Give it disadvantage.
Ooh, that's good. I don't crit. 18 to hit.
Miss.
That's huge. This was a lot of damage. Very good. That warding flare killer. You. What does it look like in this moment?
It's a big flash of like bright silvery light right in its face.
Is it just? Where does it appear? I'm curious. Paint me a word picture.
It looks like a star just kind of like exploding, and it's just like right.
Oh,
in the
I love that. Like an orb of light appears and just bursts. Love it.
Like a disposable camera.
You begin winding up the disposable camera, as Alex says. Okay, that's so big that charge failed. It does not get another attack. We will then continue on. It is going to be top of the round. It is the Abomination's turn. The Abomination, still in darkness, pretty pissed off, actually.
12 points of cold damage.
12 points of cold damage really hurt.
Max
260s.
damage.
Okay, so... You know what? We're going to move out once more. It's going to do a couple of things. So, it's actually going to do 3 things exactly. First, as it was moving out of the darkness, as soon as its head's out, it's going to make 1 ranged attack, and it's going to make it at Mai.
Okay.
Mai, you're not within 5 feet of his ally, are you? Of the Yonti ally.
He's 10 feet away.
I do not have advantage on this roll. This is just a ranged attack, as he is going to spit poison from one of his heads. You all see as this wave of poison, the poison from this one more of a yellowish color. As it strikes your skin, you watch as, like boiled water disappearing quickly, it seeps almost instantly into your flesh, some of the exposed part of your neck here. And you feel as this is happening, that is going to be I need a con save from you, and this is poison damage.
Okay. Con save? 26.
That's a pass. You're gonna half this.
Okay.
35 halved for, so that's going to be 15. Blah blah blah. 17 points of damage. Sorry. I rolled a crit against you, by the way. That was a very good one to save. Okay, that was the spit. It then is going to get into melee range of Thorn and make one claw attack on you. That is a 22.
That hits, and I can't shield that.
Okay.
I'm going to use my reaction to put my ward in front.
You're warding flaring me? So the ward takes damage, right?
The ward will take damage.
Okay, and it's not a small amount of damage, I don't believe. This is its claw attack.
He will take whatever is left over if my ward goes away.
It's going to be 12 points of damage.
Cool, he takes some damage.
And it is going to begin casting a spell.
I've already used my reaction.
I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw from Mai, as this creature says.
They're lying to you. They wish to shatter the moon.
15.
15 is
Reroll that. Worse. God damn it.
Yeah, it's only an 11 now.
Strike down the drow.
strike down the drown.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Drown the drow.
But you hear this, and yeah, the drow are going to try to take down the Moon Mother. We always were told, we were warned as kids this was going to happen.
Yeah?
You feel this makes sense. This is reasonable in this moment. Yeah, you have some like problematic upbringing that you're reminded of at this moment. And that is going to be it for his turn. Those are his 3 abilities here. It'll then be Ralnor. Ralnor all by himself, having a good time.
Ralnor's gonna go fight a Triceratops.
He chomps down the last bit of lizard leg and runs up to flank with Mai. Mai, you always carry your staff.
Yep.
That's how you block
Yes,
things.
flanking. Yes.
16, 23. Oh, he's flanking.
He's flanking.
Does a 16 hit?
Yes. All,
Okay,
16, 20, all of us are hit.
No 19s.
No
so
crits.
no crits. 15, 20, 8, 3, 38.
Okay, so you guys have a fighter now.
We do.
Like, I know you're a fighter, but you're way scarier than
A
a
level 11 fighter.
Yeah, we have a 3 attack monstrosity with us. That's all he can do, though. He has
He sucks at
nothing
an-
else.
That's all you
If
need.
you have someone who can float 10 feet off the ground, Ralnor is going to look at him angry.
Yeah, but Ralnor can't get there.
Yes, so Ralnor attacking this. Ralnor's good again. This is what he wants to do. He wants to fight low armor beasties. Quite a bit of damage here. You watch as the Triceratops winds around, striking Ralnor with his tail. Ralnor bounce, rolls a few feet, gets back up to his feet, and continues fighting.
I did not roll any 19s, but 2 dice bounced off of 19.
Okay.
Aw.
Say hi to Chloe.
Hi, Claw.
Hello.
Yes, dinosaurs. Okay, we're going to continue on. After Ralnor, it's Mai and then Thorn. Now, Mai, I believe you are still frightened because you've not ended your turn out of line of sight of this, correct?
Correct. The moonbeam, I was told to attack the drow. The drow is going to destroy the moon. The moonbeam's going to come moving against the drow.
It's a bonus action to move it, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just, is it? I was going to say, I think it's only a bonus action.
Pretty
Yeah,
much
it's just a
like-
bonus action.
Okay, I believe it's a con save.
Yep, it's con save.
Okay.
The moonbeam turns to the side, and you feel suddenly this warm light comes over you, and then, it burns!
Say 25 pass.
You pass. You
Yes.
take 5 points of radiant damage.
Yes. And as a reminder, as Meanie, I believe, can you cast this spell?
We're good.
Okay, so anyone is curious about how this spell works, you can see that she was affected by a spell. It'll be Arcana will be the metric we use to
Is it
determine
5,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Ow.
I will cast Guiding Bolt at you with disadvantage because
You do have disadvantage because you're currently under attack by
Oh,
creatures.
is this a save? Oh, no.
She's making an attack roll against
roll.
you.
It's a 25 to hit.
That hits. Everyone can hit me.
Wow!
My AC isn't low.
I rolled a 19 and a 16 with disadvantage. What is Guiding Bolt?
I'm sorry, yeah. You fought the hard boss the whole time, so that's why it's hitting you.
It decided to fight me. I didn't decide to fight it.
You threw chaos energy at it.
After it made me get scared.
13 points of radiant damage.
13.
So you did like 20 damage almost to him?
Yeah, to my
How you
own
looking?
ally.
Fine. Bloodied. 19. That'll pass my con save.
Okay. Thorn, it's your turn, and you just got your shit kicked in by Mai. You're also glowing right now. The next attack against you has advantage.
So I know suggestion, right? I know
Yeah.
if she takes damage, it could.
Yes,
Cause her to break out
you
of it.
know that's the case.
All right. Well, sorry everyone. I'm casting Pulse Wave, and so everyone here, 30-foot cone.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Now it will affect Ralnor, I believe.
What type of damage is it?
It's force damage.
It's not a line attack, and it does not require an attack roll.
It's
Cool.
a dex save.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do people in the order of closest to me to furthest. The boss
Fails.
fails.
Sorry.
I'm gonna use my second and final legendary resistance. Triceratops, natural one fails, and natural one fails on the Malison. I just rolled 2 natural ones on the orange die in a row.
Ralnor fails. Mark him down. We need to keep track of this.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that.
Hold on 1 second. It's not on my sheet,
what-
so I have to double check.
What's going on, buddy? Why are you doing this to me?
It's called Psionic Blast. I always call it the wrong thing.
Oh, okay, we're good again. We're good again.
Why can't I spell it?
Paul, just would you take a second here? Planning out your next turns. Sometimes we
Who's
get.
next?
So next after Thorn is going to be the Yuan-Ti, and then is Meanies after that.
Okay, here we go. Used to be on my sheet, it's not on there anymore. Okay, 5d8 force damage.
Wow, and I'm assuming some like knockback or prone.
Pushed 20 feet back.
That pushes the snake monster into the darkness again.
Exactly, that was the point.
No.
That was a 6, right? Okay.
13, 16.
Does he go into the well?
14 plus 10 is 24. 24 points of force damage.
24 points of force damage plus the one who got knocked into an object. Takes an additional 8 points for colliding into this. You take down the Yuan-Ti. And it was 20. I'm sorry, 20. How much?
24.
24. The Triceratops is past bloodied, but is still standing. And I would say that even though it's like this thunderous damage pushing out from you, it's like ripples everything. Like it's still pretty clear you just did something. Like you made a big motion of some sort. As this happened, you watch as the Triceratops looks pretty
You
upset.
also need to move me as well.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you pass this? You failed to save?
I failed to save.
You took a bunch of damage just now.
I just took a lot.
You just did like 100 damage.
Well, yeah.
That's
across
awesome.
A bunch of people.
No, but that's
yeah.
awesome.
Which image does Ralnor take?
22. 24.
4. Okay.
Okay, and the suggestion spell breaks. Also, is it whenever I enter it? Because I just entered the
It's
dark.
when you start your turn.
Thank you. I just wanted to double check. It would be the Yuan-Ti, but the Yuan-Ti is dead. That is going to be Ismini's turn. Ismini, you see the suggestion spell wears off. Mai looks around a bit confused and gets back into the fight.
I see the Triceratops. I'm going to be making 3.
Oh, actually, you know what? Do me a favor, Connor. You just blasted Ralnor towards that well. Can you just make me a secondary dex check?
5.
I'm gonna put Ralnor in here. We'll talk when he gets to Ralnor's turn.
Sorry.
Scorching
Kill
ray.
the dog.
Scorching ray on the Triceratops. One of them was a natural 1. One of them was a 16, and one of them was a 15.
So that is going to be 2 hits. The natural 1 misses. And it's hexed.
Yes.
I don't need a damage separate.
Okay.
A lot of good numbers. A lot of good numbers, actually.
10, 16, 22, 25. 25 points of damage.
25 points of damage.
It's a good scorching ray.
You fling blast after blast. The Triceratops is on death's door, lingering. You watch as it tries to stamp its foot. It's scared, unsure what to do. You see that one of the heads of the snake hisses angrily at it. The beast, seemingly more frightened of it than you, begins to charge once more. But it looks like it's on its last leg. It's the final. It's the second wind here, but
I feel bad for killing a Triceratops for sport.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on your turn, Ismini?
No.
Cool. Who charges me?
Great. I'm gonna use my reaction to move.
When you're targeted by an attack.
10 feet this way. Using a charge from my book.
Does it stop the attack if the attack wouldn't hit you, or can I?
Yes. Let me read it to you.
Yes, please read it to me.
When you are hit by an attack, you can use your reaction to spend one charge to teleport up to 10 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. If your new position's out of range of the attack, it misses you. So you have to roll to see if you hit me.
Okay, I rolled really poorly. 16.
That doesn't actually hit me, so.
My Triceratops rolled very poorly on his second attack. I don't think he's getting a third
think
one.
that
What do you
hits
think,
me.
Connor?
I hope not.
Oh, it does hit me.
16 would
Okay.
hit you.
Yeah, 16 would hit me. It matches.
So, I don't hit you, and you don't have to make a strength saving throw, and you don't get trampled.
Nope. I just move.
It brings its head up, and as it does, you watch as it looks around, unsure of where you went before it turns and locks eyes with you, rotating in place. But that's actually, I'll use my last bit of movement. It'll just get close to you.
Thanks for the book.
Yeah, okay. We're going to go to the top of the round. That is going to be this creature, this horrible abomination. Yeah, I take more damage.
9 points of cold damage.
You've been doing very small chips, but a lot of them. I'm going to move right on out.
Oh, I didn't get to do my wisdom save at the end of my turn. Does a natural 20 do that?
Yes, you're no longer afraid.
Oh, thank God.
I'm going to spit poison at Thorn and then make 2 attacks at Mai. I'll do a bite and a claw at Mai. Thorn! Math 10. Mai's bite.
The bite, I'm gonna warning flare.
Math 10.
Cool.
And the claw. Math 13.
All those high numbers you're rolling. Convenient that they don't get rolled when you hit someone else.
Alex can see my dice tray.
He's rolling so lazily.
Yeah, I am just flicking dice across. I
He rolled a nat 20
have
on
a
me
dice tray
earlier.
now.
That's why I'm down.
Oh.
I had my birthday between last session and this one, and Cola got me a dice tray, so I have one behind my screen now.
Cute.
Thank you. I like having a dice tray. I like having a place for it. I've never had one that was like for DMing. Okay, so unfortunately, all of those attacks missed. That's going to be Ralnor's turn. Ralnor,
Is in the goop.
you have fallen into the blood pit. As you begin sinking through here, I need 2 things. I need a strength saving throw. Oh no, I don't need it. I don't need this other one because he's immune to it. Ralnor feels some sort of thing try to take hold of him.